what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. You're watching Original Art Hour. This is episode 40. I've already got several buddies here backstage, so I'm not going to waste time. I'm going to bring them right on here. What's up, fellas? Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for having us, Bobby.
Well, welcome. This is going to be a different episode. I'm going to be trying some stuff that I've never done before, including a built-in StreamYard giveaway tool. I think I pinned a comment in the chat right here at the top, but I'm going to highlight it here. And it's enter a comment in the live chat to be entered into tonight's giveaway. The drawing will occur at the end of tonight's show. You must be present for the live drawing to claim your prize. So I'm going to just confirm that this thing is working here. I'm going to share my screen real quick. I'm going to go to the giveaway tool on StreamYard. I'm going to share that. So I'm not going to specify specific hashtag. All you have to do is comment. So as you can see here, we already have 9 people in the chat that left a comment. So if you're entering just now, if you're entering later, just heads up. All you got to do is leave a comment in the chat to enter the giveaway. I'm going to actually add this to the bottom, maybe. Does that? No, that kind of covers Jeff's face. Sorry, Jeff. Maybe just for a minute or two here at the beginning, I will leave that there.
Just cover me up.
Just cover your face.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's how you enter. And real quick, let me also show you guys what you guys are entering to win. So this is a Action Comics 1000 blank sketch cover. And real quick, oh, somebody's got me on loop there. I don't know who it was, but anyway, this has got 7 signatures on it and 3 sketches. So here, starting with the back, we have a Green Arrow sketch from Mike Grell, which is pretty cool. It's actually my only Mike Grell example, and I'm giving it away here tonight. And you got a Superman by Michael Cho. You got a Supergirl by Javier Avila. You also have signatures from Marv Wolfman, George Perez, Jim Shooter, Gail Simone, Babs Tarr, and some other person with a unidentified signature here that I can never remember. So
Jock?
I don't know, bro. I honestly don't know who that signature is, but the signature hounds out there might know. And then you've got, if you do end up being the winner of this, you got plenty of blank space on the back to continue sort of the DC character theme if that's what you should choose to do with it. So we'll get that off. And we are back. Okay, cool. So let me know in the chat if there are questions on that, but I hope it's pretty straightforward. Let me see the giveaway tool. Yeah, it's keeping track in real time of people who are commenting in the chat. So if you want to be a winner though, and I'm not going to announce an exact time that I'm going to do the drawing. It's going to be sometime towards the end of the show. So probably 2 hours in, maybe longer, depending upon how long the show goes. I will be giving this away via that live drawing. So please be in the live drawing if you want to be a winner. We got another person joining us here. What's up, Michael? Knights of Old. Good to see you, man. It's been a while. Welcome. Good to see you.
How are you?
Good. Welcome. Nice background. Is that like your new design digs back there for your room?
Yeah. I guess it's been a while. So yeah, this is all like old manga, and then I have like some robots here.
Oh hell yeah!
And then I got the bulk of the like vintage Japanese stuff.
Yeah, it's like literally a vintage Japanese toy store that you got. That's crazy.
America's a different section, so.
All right. Well, what's up to all the chatters? We got Unruly Simeon in the house. What's up, Unruly? We got JP's Budget Collecting. We got Jeff, and he's also on the show here. Good to see Jeff. Jason Ladwig in the house. What's up? We got Ryan, Magic Lasso. Marcus saying, calling me the Don. I appreciate that. Andy E in the house. He's also on the show. Good to have you back, Andy. Chris, aka I Got Issues 2319, also on the show here tonight. Thank you, Chris, for hopping on. We got Ronald Shepard, Ruben's on the show and in the chat. Yes, George Perez signature on that as well. We got Kelly Baltala in the chat. Thank you, Kelly. And I think we're caught up for now, but everybody, thank you for watching. This is just going to be a hangout. I asked the guys to bring some art if they wanted to share. If they don't, they can just sit here and listen to me yap, or they can yap about whatever they want. So And we got Tony. We got Tony as well. Tony NY Jr. in the house. What's up, Tony? And
Hey, how's it going? Happy New Year. Good evening.
What up,
Tony?
Shaq here, Mr. Garrel.
What's up, Tony?
So all you guys,
Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year.
just by commenting, you are entered into the giveaway. So all you have to do is comment. Yeah, thank you, Ronald. I know you're a sketch cover guy. So again, we got 3 sketches here that you could win tonight that will be given away. But let's get the show started. We got some people who have, I guess, time limits or don't have a ton of time to hang, and I think Mike's one of them. So you want to kick things off, Mike?
Sure, man.
So I mean, I know you kind of were talking to me backstage about it, but you're not very active these days as far as collecting. But there was like one project in particular that I guess sort of became infamous on my channel.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the 3rd annual OA Hangout with this.
Yeah, I pretty much do one of these a year-ish or so. Yeah.
So it kind of started right before the first one. I commissioned Al Garza to do an 11x17. It was supposed to be a full character, full ink and color. And the long and short of it is he's like, keep reminding me because I tend to forget. And like at first I would give this guy I'd wait, I'd message him once and then wait like a month or 2 and then message him again. And I had COVID or his dog died or just some of the craziest excuses I've ever heard of. But this was a commission where you paid up front. So I paid $300 for this. And it was just excuse after excuse after excuse. And it kind of left a bad taste in my mouth as far as commissioning an artist. So I've showed the pieces on the last annual Hangout. I ordered stuff from Brazilian, they're not as big name as Al Garza, but I mean, they still produce beautiful work. And it wouldn't even be a month for these guys to hammer these pieces out. So long story short, it came down to where I think it was like a year, maybe a year and a half before I even got a preliminary sketch. 3 quick sketches of the pose. And I picked one. I was like, go with that one. I like that one the most. I shared it I even put it in our group chat, I believe. And he's like, okay, cool. Give me another week or 2 and I'll have full inks. No. Just no. It was like, it took all but 2 years to get this piece in my hand. And like a month before I actually got the piece, he's like, the inks turned out great. I don't want to color it. I'm going to, I'm not. But I saved every message me and him exchanged, every email. I was not rude about it, but I was a little snarky. Every time he would make a post, I'm petty like that. I'm like, oh, you got time to do that shit. But
Mike, that's not being petty, dude. That's just the artist being irresponsible, and you just want your shit that you paid for. So you keep doing what you're doing, man, because not enough collectors do that. They let them get away with murder.
If I did this at my job, where if they paid me to do something and I didn't do it, I would not be there long.
Yeah.
Anybody at any job, it's the same thing. But he said he didn't want to color it. He was gonna give me the prelim, the full inked, and he was gonna have his colorist digitally color it and then make a print and send me the print. If he can't pay his bills that he's always saying, I have to pay this bill, I have to do this actual dynamite cover so I can pay my light bill, you're not going to be able to afford a colorist. I don't care how much it costs to get them colored, but I'll show the piece. This is the prelim. And this is the full inked. He's got him standing on a sentinel head. It's a great Al Garza piece. I love his style of art, but dude,
It's really nice.
2 years, and this is it. It's kind of underwhelming, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I know his work. It's not as detailed as a lot of other artists.
Yeah, I get you, Mike, man. It's a nice, like, if you had just told everybody that, hey, you know, I just commissioned Ali Garza a month ago, and this is what he sent me, we'd all be like, oh yeah, really cool, right? But it's just, I can see what you feel, because you know you waited 2 years for the damn thing, right? So
Yep.
totally.
I mean, even for a year, maybe I'd be happy, because I almost expect like 6 months to a year in my head mentally for almost any artist in a weird way. But 2 years is
Like, I did exactly what he told me to do. He told me to message him every week, and I was like, I don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's why it was like a month or two at first, and then like I'd wait another month or two. After the first year, though, it was like every time he put a post on Instagram, I was up his shit.
I think for a while, some of us in the group chat were like jumping in there too and talking trash on some of his posts also.
He did a live stream on Whatnot, and somebody in the group won a piece, and he ended up not even sending it to him. Like, he canceled it because it went for like $30. Because nobody bid on, like, nobody purchased his sketches. I wasn't gonna sink another penny into that man.
Yeah, but, can I say something about Ali Garza? Yeah. Back in 2007, I started representing Mel Ruby. If anybody of you know, he started out in the 90s, did some Marvel stuff. And then in 2007, he started at Dynamite when they got the license for Red Sonja, you know. And so I represented Mel for a few years, and like a couple of years, I think it was maybe 2009 or so, Mel said to me, hey, you know, if you want, do you want to represent anybody else? And I was like, well, like, it depends. I don't want to just take anybody, right? But it depends who it is. Just let me know if you know somebody. He says, oh yeah, I got a good friend, you know, he needs somebody. I'm like, oh really? Yeah, okay, who is it? And he said, well, it's do you know Ali Garza? And I was like, yeah, don't want him. Because I'll tell you why. Because this is like 2009. He already had that reputation of what you experienced, Mike, going back to the 90s. I already knew about it. So, you know, thankfully I wasn't one of the victims, but he had that rep already. So I was like, oh God, thank you, but no, thank you. You know,
I didn't know anything about any of that stuff until probably a year into the commit. Like, when I started complaining on Instagram, other people are like, dude, I waited 3 years, or dude, I waited 2.5 years. I was like, some guys, like, I still have not even gotten my piece, and it's been like 5 years. I was like, holy shit.
5 years. Yeah, forget it, man.
Yeah, like, I know guys who it's like 8, 9, 10. So yeah.
All right. Really? Well, in a little bit of happier commission news, I commissioned these 2 Electra pieces back in November. You know, during whatever the last Comic Art Live was. Andy Fish and Veronica Fish. So cool. They're husband and wife. They're both comic artists. So I hopped on their commission list. It was only $100, you know, for these commissions per piece. And they gratefully even increased my size, like, on the house, because I had, you know, bought art from them before and stuff like that. So very nice people. So while somebody else volunteers to share art, I'm gonna unbox these 2 commissions. They just came in today, and those are gonna be my first 2 art shares. A positive, quick turnaround commissions for everybody. All right. So. But before we get into somebody's next art share, we had a bunch of people join us. We had Southern Comic Geek, we had John's Comics with Kids, we had Mr. Garrell, we had Kenneth Bird, we got Jason K, Comic Art Channel. Good to see you guys. Thank you for hopping on and hanging. All right, who wants to volunteer? I'm going to unbox and try not to make noise if I can in the background while the next person goes.
Oh, I thought you were going to do it like live for everybody.
No. I'm going to do the unboxing in the background.
Oh, come on, dude.
I'm not going to look at it. And then I'm going to try to
I could show something that I was curious about getting advice from you guys for.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I have this. It's only a panel. And so my question is about a couple things. One is kind of a preservation-ish, and then the other one is just display preferences. So I have this panel, and I'm curious about how maybe to frame it or how you guys maybe would display it. It seems a shame to keep it locked up, but it also has the not Zipatone. What the hell is it called? That other chemical rub-on gray tone.
Duo shade. Duo shade.
Yeah, something like and that kind of thing. I can't forget the name right now for some reason.
Oh, when we see it, when we see it, we'll let you know.
So it's this Frazetta panel, and I was thinking of maybe framing it with the comic that it was from, because it's a cool Frazetta cover as well.
That's so cool.
But it does have, that stuff on there, which
that's a duo shade board.
Is that bold?
Yeah.
1950 something.
Yeah.
And I've heard some people say, "Oh yeah, if you do just normal stuff, like it's not going to fade." And then other people won't even buy.
We happen to have a conservationist on the show right now, Jeff Wedding.
Awesome.
I don't know if you have any insight or tips on that, because that's a crazy.
Ruben says it's fine. Just put it in a FedEx box.
Just put it in there.
Blaming me, you bastard.
I haven't seen them yet. There's this little piece of cardboard blocking the art. So,
what size are they?
I think they're 9x12. So,
hey, just to get back to you, real quick,
for it to take a ding or two in transit.
But
I think it would be pretty cool to
increase Jeff's mic a little. You say that again, Jeff?
I said that there's plenty of extra corner space on your package there in case it gets a couple dings in transit.
I think it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, look, we got another. There's so many people backstage. I can't even see who's backstage on StreamYard. So sorry, JP.
Hey, oh, you're good. I've only been there for like a minute.
All right, good. Sorry.
One real quick, in case someone answered me, I didn't hear
it. Oh yeah,
I think Jeff might have information, but I don't.
I thought, in my personal opinion, it'd look pretty cool if you frame that up like with the comic that it came from. Especially since it's only like a smaller portion of a page. I think if you mat that up nicely, I think that would look like really cool together on the wall.
Just how do you mat that cutout though? Like I've never attempted to mat a piece that's so uneven like that.
If you take it to Michael's or somebody, and get a mat cut, they can freehand odd shapes. That's not an issue. The only thing I would say is if you're going to hang it in a room with an exterior window, don't put it on the wall opposite the window, and maybe pick some UV resistant conservation glass for the frame.
All right, guys, I'm just gonna reveal. I don't know how this is packed behind it, but we're gonna.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Okay, that's upside down.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know if that's the Andy or the Veronica one. I'm assuming it's the Veronica one because I'm not sure though. To be honest, I'm gonna have to.
Oh, okay. See, I thought you meant they collabed on the piece.
No, I think they both did one. So they both did their own.
Yeah, there's 2 pieces of paper in there.
Yeah.
Take it out of the bag, Cobby.
Yeah, definitely.
The color definitely pops on that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Ooh.
Oh man.
All right, so this is
really nice.
This is the Andy Fish.
Nice.
$200 for those?
This was 100. Yeah, but
I mean together.
Yeah, together 200.
Wow.
You need to send them more money.
I love them.
Right?
They're amazing.
Or at least more business.
Yeah, I'll probably send them more commissions their way in the future. But yeah. So that is the Andy Fish.
Is that like you had to get on a list, or?
I did have to get on their list. It was like their pre-Comic Art Live commission list that they reached out to like their past commissioners or buyers first. And I said, yeah, sign me up, get me on the list. I don't know if the rest of their list sold out for that show or not, but yeah. All right. And then this is the Veronica Fish.
Wow.
I really like that one.
Yeah.
Those are both great.
It would have been done. I think it would have been done a month ago, but Veronica was taking extra special time on finishing it, so I really appreciate it.
Is that comic page height? It looks like
it's 9 by 12, so
okay.
It's a little smaller, but it's pretty large commission.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. So yeah.
Very nice.
So you're in for us to get commissions from them, is what you're saying.
If you want, yeah, let me know. I mean, I'm happy to pass along a interest at least. And
well, they have a website. I think you
yeah,
can
they have a website.
Out.
They have a website. They're on CAF. They're on social media. It's not like they're a secret. You know, they're amazing.
How many Electras do you have now in original art?
I don't know, maybe 15.
Oh,
like that. Like
and
nothing crazy.
Not that many.
Not
that many.
You need Sankiewicz.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. I lost track of the comments and all that stuff, but yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm not flipping these. I'm flipping the other stuff. I ain't flipping these. These are for the collection. Thank you, Mr. Gurrell. Yes, I am a Psy collector, so I'm specifically a Psy guy.
Rosetta OA, no big deal.
All right, so I'm gonna get back to the group view here. How do I do this?
Hey, who's your like? If you could have like 3 more Electra sketches, who would the dream 3 be?
I mean, I don't have a Frank Miller. I have a Sienkiewicz. So I don't have a Frank Miller. So that's, but that's not easy.
Jensen.
Easier said than done. Who'd you say?
Klaus Jensen.
That
would be good.
I don't know if he's on my list per se, but that would be cool too. I don't know if I have a definitive list. I think most of the artists that I want in that series, and it's just a matter of like expanding it. I'm having Tricky Trapster do one for me right now, which I didn't know. I didn't even know that because I guess I was the top donor to the Old Bull 65 children's stream thing.
Nice.
And I didn't realize that the top donor would get a piece, a commission from Tricky. So shout out to Tricky for doing that, which is pretty cool. So I have that to look forward to as well. But yeah,
you almost have enough for an Electra closet, like that one guy in Hawaii has the closet with the art in there.
Oh,
all Electra room.
Well, I don't know if I'd ever go the closet route. But maybe you're talking about Dino. He's not in Hawaii, but he's got.
He's not okay.
He's got an art closet. Yeah, he's up in Connecticut, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah.
But Dino sometimes does shows from Hawaii when he's over saying Jordan.
When he's with
stuff,
Jordan
yeah.
Jono. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm happy with those guys. Thanks for sharing live reaction with me on it. All right, does anybody else want to volunteer to share some art? Oh, there he is, Tricky in the house. Tricky Trapster, good to see you, man.
Hey, can I just say something real quick to Knights of Old,
sure.
Just about your piece. I just emailed Kavi a business card. I don't know if you'd be interested in potentially investing more money into the piece. That'll be up to you. But the business card is of a conservator.
Okay.
And in case if you ever decided to frame it, some of these guys, what they're able to do is sort of recreate the rest of that missing paper. Because it's all cut out the way it is on top.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, they can make it look more like it's a complete board again, and then get it framed that way. But anyways, it's a business card with a phone number and maybe email, I suppose, on it. So maybe I don't know. You can look into it.
Yeah, thank you. That's a great idea.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, I had to put those away because otherwise I would spill shit on it. So
don't want to do that.
Yeah,
Mike, you're bouncing already.
Later, Mike.
Yeah, Mike had a specific deadline to.
Oh, the Bucks game started. The Bucks game started. That's why.
No, I'm a Steelers fan. We were done a long time ago.
He's got to do a school pickup or something of the sort.
Cool.
Yeah. My daughter's done ballet for the last 12 years, so she's
that's cool.
Pick her up, and then
I'll be the guy leaving later for the Bucks game. So
there you go. Thanks, Mike.
All right, later,
Mike.
man.
Thanks for sharing.
See you later.
Catch y'all later.
We're glad you got your Al Garza.
Finally.
Even though your taste for OA isn't quite the same because of it, but
it's better than nothing, like Ruben said. It could have been a stick figure.
Later,
Take it easy, guys.
Bye, man.
Later.
Bye.
All right. Well, Ruben, Do you want to go next then, considering you've got a foosball game you want to watch?
Yeah, I mean, you got the slides, so might as well.
Yes, I have your slides. So Ruben sent
But
me,
I mean, are you going to talk about it, or you want me to talk? I mean, I don't know. You want me to say something?
I mean, I don't want to talk about your art. You can talk.
No,
about
I don't
your
know.
Art. Yeah,
okay.
I mean, unless you want me to talk about your art, but
I think Ruben should talk about it because we never hear him say anything.
Yeah, right.
Anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right, so Ruben kindly sent me all the scans in slide format, so I didn't have to do any work, which is amazing. So thanks, Ruben. But...
Yeah, you see what I do for you, man.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I actually I got this. I'm not even sure this qualifies as a 2022 piece. It could have been late 21. I don't remember, but never ended up posting it anywhere. So I figured, okay, I'll debut it on your show. Why not? Yeah, I was a fan of Van Sciver's work. First of all, when he did that the Green Lantern Rebirth from 2004, I believe, or 2003, 2004.
Okay.
Was a really big fan of that, and I think he did this the year before, and this was like a 2-part prestige format type series, and it's some of the best work that he ever did. This is what I call when he was in his Brian Bolland phase.
Okay.
I mean, people still describe it that way, but he realized how crazy he was with the detail. And after doing the Green Lantern thing in the mid 2000s, he finally decided to pull back a little bit, and so he's not as crazy with the tight detail anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, this is his sort of his best stuff. The stuff.
I like the Catwoman pose, and I like the cape extension a lot.
Yeah. Each one of those panels is packed. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Reminds me a little bit of the Marshall Rogers run way back.
Yeah, I just thought it was a cool image of both Batman and Catwoman, even though I find her ears really, and her mask in general, kind of bizarre. I was never like a huge fan of this version of the costume, but in this version, is it just me, or like are those ears way too big? And I don't know, something looks off about it, maybe. I don't know.
And she has whiskers, or did she always have whiskers?
Yeah, did she always have that? Because that reminds me of a Wildcat.
Depends on the artist, right?
Yeah, that's it, right? Sometimes they take liberties, right? Sometimes they take liberties, but so that's it. Yeah, I just thought it was
cool, man.
Cool images of the two characters, so I figured pick it up,
And I think I recognize this title.
Yeah, this title. You're a big. You mentioned you were a fan, and you might want to get
fan of this.
Yeah, you wanted to get a bit of art from it. I know that.
Yeah.
So as you know, you loved it, I loved it, loved it both for story and art, and for me that's kind of rare. Like it's been a long time like that I read a book that I just adored both the story and the art as much as each other. And of course, I for those who don't know, I represent the artist Mike Perkins, and I just I love this character, right? The Pale Wanderer, who then became the Pale Pilgrim, and just the overall design of this page with the Parliament of Trees characters in the background above him, all those close-ups. And it's just a really far out design, and love the chiaroscuro, black white contrast, and I actually, you know what, man, Kavi, I actually probably only ended up with, I don't know, 5 or 6 pieces total from the series. But
for your personal collection, right? Yeah.
So when you represent the artist, you just get to pick which ones. That's got to be hard sometimes, because he's like, all right, here's the ones from this book, and you're like, oh no, I want those 5 ones.
Yeah, I can tell you honestly, Knight, the reality is that when you at least speaking for myself, when you represent people, it's so much easier to give in to temptation, right? Because you have the art with you, and nothing beats having it already in your hands and looking at it that way and feeling it, and touching it, and it's so much easier to say, you know what? Nobody needs to like pack and ship this to me. It's already sitting here, right? I just have to send Mike the money. So, okay, I
guess send him an email. It's already all sold.
But I mean, specifically with this title, I have noticed with you, Ruben, that you know, it's almost like you got last dibs. You know what I mean?
I did. Yeah. I
Not
wanted.
first dibs,
I really
so.
wanted because I loved it
Really?
so much. I thought even the story was so amazing. I was like, I want other people to get a shot, right, and get their fair shot. So yeah, I let everybody for the most part take their first pick, and I took sort of last dibs on pretty much. That's why I ended up with only, like I said, about a handful of pages, you know. But yeah,
I mean, that's
I think that would have been really hard. Only because
that's an amazing page, though. It's an amazing.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, thanks to Mike. That's
right.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. So
Love
is
the
the
colors.
gray tone like just a wash that's of ink that's lighter?
So in the on the bottom half where the pale wanderer is
pencils,
sitting, the stuff behind him is just ink wash.
Okay, yeah.
Right. So if you follow the center
Looks
of the
awesome.
page, if you follow him, if you start going where he is and looking upwards, so above that gray tower that's behind him, that metal tower that's destroyed. If you go higher up into the darkness of the skies, if you will, you see the gray stuff up there.
Yeah.
That is either a grease pencil, or it could just be a pencil smudging. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at it in a while. So yeah, but he uses a mix of techniques. So
cool, man. Thanks for
I
sharing.
gotta say, those look great on the screen, but I saw Kavi's in person in November.
Right.
And if I'd have had them in hand and front, I don't think I'd have been able to let go of them. So good
Yeah,
for you as a rep, Ruben.
Yeah,
they
that's
were 10 times better in person than they were.
I know.
On any of the images that I've seen on any of the screens. So.
That's what I'm saying. It's really hard, like when it's already in your hands. Yeah. So, but you have to, right? Otherwise, you go broke. So.
Good to see you, Chicago Schultze in the house. Brandon Looney Tunes fan. We got ME Comics. Good to see y'all. Thank you for hopping by. And by leaving a comment in the chat, you are entered into the live giveaway. Just a heads up. So far, we have 27 entries into the live giveaway, but we'll be doing the drawing at the end of the show, and you need to be. You are in just by commenting, Brandy Looney Tunes. But you have to be here at the end of the show for the live drawing if you win to claim the prize, which I'll reiterate is this cool Action Comics 1000 blank sketch cover with 3 sketches: a Javier Avila Supergirl, a Michael Cho Superman, and a Mike Grell Green Arrow, along with Jim Shooter, Marv Wolfman, George Perez, Babs Tarr, and Gail Simone signatures on there. So pretty cool prize. But thanks everybody for tuning in. 28 of you watching, appreciate it. Hit the thumbs up button. I didn't even say that. Course. I never say it, always forget. We got one more piece from my buddy Ruben, and then we'll move on to the next collector. This is your third one that you wanted to share.
Yep. So I picked this up actually in at auction in, I believe, November. Yeah, so I enjoyed the whole Death of Superman storyline back in the 90s, but even though I've been collecting art for a long time, I had so many, wide variety of interests in terms of comics and art. I never focused on any of that stuff as an art collector. And so I never ended up managing to get any art from that run. And so, but I always kind of thought, I should have at least, a piece or two featuring Doomsday Superman or whatever. And this piece just came up at auction, like I said, a few months ago. And funny enough, it's literally from an issue where the entire issue has nothing to do with Doomsday and Superman. I just remember like the page before this, there's narration going on. I don't even remember who's narrating, but there's narration. And for a moment, they just make a reference to, remember that day, that awful day when Superman died or something like that. And you turn the page and it's this page. And if I don't know if anybody can read it, but it says something like, I think we all died a little that day at the bottom there. And then when you turn this page, it just goes back to, narrating about other things. And so this is literally the only page in the issue that has anything to do with Superman and Doomsday, And so I'm it's from 99. So, even though it's not from the original DOS run, I'm cool with that. It's just something to remind me of it or whatever. And it's by Mike McCone, who I've always liked as well. So yeah, just thought it'd be something fun to have as a memento, since I don't have originals from the original run.
That's
Cool. It's like
really
a
cool.
sleeper.
Still nice stuff.
Yeah. It's a
I didn't
sleeper
catch
way
that.
of getting something very coveted in your collection. So
I love how it just has one little tiny, box of text.
Yeah. It keeps it nice and clean.
Amazing.
actually on the board though, right?
Yeah, it's I can't remember if it's drawn or pasted on, but
Okay, but it's there somewhere.
it's there. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I did want to say I've always said this. I'm not a fan. I've never been a fan of coloring, and for most people, and this again, just I look at that and I want to puke. It's just so it's so
color version specifically.
Like the color. Yeah. It's just bright primary colors that it's the guy has whoever did it, just no skill. It's what are you doing? Look at the background, bright orange. There's no effort going on here, right? It's like somebody who doesn't really know how to use the the computer software program that does the coloring. It just I don't get it, man. Coloring in comics just never makes me. It always never makes me happy, But that's why I love being an art collector.
Earlier in the digital era too, coloring.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's early on.
Those guys now, a lot of the colorists are rock stars, in my opinion. They make a difference.
I'll say that. I'll say that for sure. You're right about that, Andy. Early on,
right?
You can
20 years of digital coloring experience since then.
Yeah, the limitations of those softwares at the time and stuff. So I'll say that for sure. Yeah. But Andy, I'm curious, as an art collector yourself, do you still prefer to look at images that are colored or uncolored, like the original art, or in your comic books?
You mean if I'm considering purchasing something?
Nah. Just if I showed you what I showed you just now, right? If that was a piece that you owned, do you really like the colored version more than the original art without the color, or do you still prefer to see it, just the ink and pencil and ink final version without color?
I mean, it's interesting. I think it kind of depends, in certain cases. I think I've seen plenty of cases, even my own collection, where the black and white art is far superior to the finished product. But I've also seen the other case where the colors really make a difference and can really, make a piece shine. So, I mean, a lot of that, just like I said, give a credit to the colorists for being creative and taking advantage of the technology.
You're right.
It's it just depends.
I think especially with modern art, the experience can be drastically different in one direction or the other.
That's mainly my art focus is post 2010. So I mean, that's kind of what I don't really have much of an opinion on the earlier stuff, because that's a whole different process. With how they used to color back then.
Well, I've got your art good to go here, ready to go, Andy. If you wanna go next, or you wanna hang back?
You can take turns, or you can go through whatever you want to do.
Anybody else press for time that want to go before Andy? Or okay, we'll go with Andy. So more super art here, but Supergirl
first issue.
Yeah.
Oh, you managed to find the you got the cover to go with it. Did you do that on your own?
I did all the published reference on my own, if I could find it.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I forgot to send you the colored.
Yeah, no worries. That just took me 5 extra minutes to do, so no worries.
Yeah, so this was a variant cover from issue 1 of the Supergirl Rebirth. I'm a big fan of Bangle. I love his sort of manga influence style that he has.
Did I spell that correctly, by the way? Just want to make the artist.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Okay, good.
Yeah, he's a French artist. He's got a very clean, line. Not a lot of not very busy. It's just a great piece, a character that I like. I think it really highlights kind of her youthfulness and her, just her look.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting though, because I had a question about the change, that was made to this image, and I reached out to him, and he told me that editorial, wanted the S on her chest exposed for the cover, and so he drew a separate stat. I have it in my calf gallery if anyone's interested, but he did just the upper part of her shoulders and arms, and then digitally altered the image when he was coloring it, because he colored this also.
He colors his own covers digitally, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, I have the the original piece and then like the stat little piece he drew separately.
Nice.
So it was kind of cool to see the process.
Cool. Anything else you want to share about this one, or do you want me to move to the next one?
Yeah, that's about it. Unless anybody has any questions or comments.
Not hearing any, so let's move on. Let's move on to the next one. All right, this is your more DC. This is I think that was a theme with what you sent me, right?
Yeah, just you know, happenstance, you know, whatever kind of pops up that, you know, when you can time it right with your budget and everything. This was sort of another checklist item that I had to sacrifice a little bit to pull off. You know, Campbell, as somebody growing up in the 90s, was someone I really enjoyed, and I saw this and really liked it. It was pretty striking. I didn't want just the, you know, he does a lot of these images where they're just kind of posing statically, but this one had the background, you know, included with it, and I thought it added a little bit to it. And you know,
yeah, you're getting two Harleys essentially for the price of one.
Yeah, you got kind of the throwback, you know, in the background there with the.
What year is this
graffiti on the wall there? But this to me is an example of where the coloring really, like, you know, it looks great black and white, but you know, I also enjoy the color.
I think this book came out in what, 2020, 2019, something like that. So it must be around there, the art, right?
Yeah. This was during that, you know, year of the villain thing, and this sort of capped off that whole year. They did when they, I guess, announced the Villain of the Year award. This was the issue that they did it in. But just an FYI for anyone who purchases art, you know, I've always been used to going through like dealers or reps, but when I purchased this through his store, you know, like I wasn't expecting the tax bill on top of it, so that kind of took me back because it was already expensive. But just be aware that some of these purchases they do include tax on, so be prepared.
Yep.
Sorry, can you repeat that, Andy? Some of the what includes tax?
Some of the purchases, you know how like if you purchase to a rep, usually the tax is included, or I guess they take care of that after the fact,
right?
You know, on their end,
right?
But I guess through his store, like the tax is added on after the purchase, so that was included in my price, which I wasn't prepared for. But I haven't done a lot of purchasing outside of those markets, you know.
Yeah.
Well, even though I'm aware of the taxes, I'm never prepared for the heritage auction taxes I have to pay.
Exactly.
Yeah, the buyer's premium.
The buyer's premium. Oh, yeah.
And sales tax.
Yeah,
I didn't even watch Heritage this last round because I was just
State
avoiding
is 10%,
temptation. But
which just sucks.
Yep. All right, man. This is your third one. More Supergirl goodness. And
yeah, this is from the same Rebirth era. This is like issue 9 or 10, maybe 11, somewhere around there. Brian Ching art. He does his own inks as well. And just you know, a nice page having the two, you know, just kind of some downtime after their battle or whatever. They're just kind of chilling and like having a conversation. I thought it was kind of a nice, just quiet piece, watching the sunset.
It's a great quiet page. Like I like quiet dialogue pages, especially between two main characters. This is a cool one.
It's amazing. You could really feel that the artists know at this point in time how much the colorists can do. Because before, I feel like, well, especially in that awkward in between time, they would still kind of compensate. I think they thought they had to add detail where they probably didn't need to, but here it's like, wow, it's beautiful in both color and black and white. But you can really see where he knew he didn't need to, like, you know, do some stuff under the eyebrow, or like I don't know, more stuff in her cape, for instance, on the top. Like he knew like the colorist was going to take care of that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I reached out to Brian through his I guess his email on his Instagram or whatever, and he took a while to get back to me, but you know, I kind of forgot about it, and he reached out like maybe 2 months later, and you know, he asked me what pages I was interested in, and he sent me back some prices on what he still has. So it all worked out pretty well. Not exactly punctual, but I know these guys are busy and they have other stuff going on.
It's a fun. You got a fun, cute style.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
yeah, it definitely works for these younger characters. I think you match the artist with the right story, and it's all good.
Yeah, and Andy, it's actually cool that you show this, because it's actually a perfect piece to show that ties into what we were just talking about with the colors.
Yeah.
Because this is an artist who he and the colorist know how they're going to be producing the art together, in the sense that Brian knows for example, if we take the first panel, he knows that when he does the image of Kara standing there, he's not going to bother putting in any of the shading on the inside of the cape, because he figures, well, you colorist, whoever the colorist is, right? You're going to do all the shading and filling that in. So if you notice how much more the colorist adds here, right? It looks much more complete, I guess, if you will. On
that
the
that is what Knights of Old just said. Panel. Just FYI, that is what Knights of Old just said. But
sorry, I didn't hear it. What did you say?
We're just reinforcing that.
Yeah. You guys are on the same page, but
I was just amazed because I didn't really realize that.
Basically, but yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't even hear it.
No worries.
Sorry.
I'll talk louder.
No worries. But basically he was saying the same thing you were saying, the same gist of like, this is the differences between all that awkward period of digital coloring to the more current era of digital coloring.
Where, okay. Yeah.
There's more of a partnership there at the end result, which is
sorry, Knights. I wasn't hearing anything. Yeah, I was like,
no worries,
you just made me look smart. I'm fine.
Exactly. You just instantly backed up his opinion on it. So.
Ruben looked over to check a score.
No, I didn't.
All right. Andy has one more piece to share, and that is this really badass Wonder Woman splash.
Nice.
Whoa.
Oh, nice.
So cool. Rafa. Nice.
Damn.
Yeah, it's Rafa Sandoval, Jordi Tarragona. I got this off of a CAF member.
Okay.
He had posted this, I guess, the year prior, and I commented on it and told him that I loved it. And if he ever decided to move on, let me know. And he reached out to me, at some point, like down the road, and we made a deal. So it
very cool.
Never hurts to throw it out there if you're browsing CAF and you see something you like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Beautiful. Nice. I really dig the ceiling up above her, man. I love that stuff. It adds so much to it. So cool.
That provides.
Yeah, and I kind of like how they inked
they
inked around the sword. It almost has a glow to it. And her like gauntlets, I guess. Is that what those are called? Bracelets.
Yeah, the bracelets. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I like when they put
cantilever perspective. Just keeps you looking at the piece forever.
I know, like they added the blood. They added the blood on blood and coloring. It looks like, right? Or it looks like it.
That's it. But having the camera on the ground like that, on the worm's eye view, that makes it much more of a dramatic impact, right? Because you got to look. You're looking up like that, so that makes it more dramatic. And of course, adding in the tilt of the floor increases that the drama as well. Yeah, because otherwise it's a lot more boring when you don't have that tilt and it's just sort of flat ground. But that whole tilt just adds to the drama. It's amazing. Yeah, beautiful.
Great piece, man.
Yeah, I just like how the perspective, like you said, can really highlight the whole image like that. It makes it a lot more interesting, to look at over time too.
Absolutely.
And apologies for the rewind watchers. I didn't put like whose collection the piece is from on these whatever.
Oh, it's the person talking, right? I mean,
it's the person talking. Hopefully that the dots can be connected that way. But yeah. All right. Anyone who brought their art to share on camera want to go next? Want to volunteer? Issues? You good? You want to go?
Yeah, I'll show a couple things. I have probably too much.
Show whatever you want, man. Well, do a speed round if you need.
Yeah, I'll try to get through it like real quick. I'll just show a few things. I mean, since I did the show with you, the majority of my stuff that I've picked up has just been like commissions. I haven't actually picked up any other interior pages.
Commissions count.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, there's no interior pages in the stuff that I'm gonna show real quick.
Okay, cool.
For those of you who are familiar with, I know all of you guys are, but if you're watching, if you're not familiar with Felix comic art, Felix Liu represents a lot.
We're all familiar.
I said I know you guys are, but I'm saying for the people who maybe are watching this who maybe aren't super familiar.
Maybe.
Felix raps like some of my personal favorite artists, and I've had a really tough time getting on commission list for a couple of those guys, unfortunately. But I was able to make it to a couple shows this past year, and Felix kind of introduced these cool, quick little 4x6 sketches that you can get from some of the artists that he represents. And so
that's a joke.
I was able to score a few this year, so I'll show those off real quick. This is a Robbie Reyes 4x6 that was done by Sanford Green.
Cool.
Nice.
Very
nice.
I also grabbed this Black Bolt was done by Daniel Warren Johnson.
I love the X-Men video game footage going on in the background too.
You like that? It's running on my emulator.
Great vibe, yeah. Great background,
bud. Also another Robbie Reyes, also by Daniel Warren Johnson.
Wow,
that's
awesome.
And that
I know DWJ was like you kept missing out.
Kavi, you know that I've been trying to get on his list for as long as I've known you, which is over 5 years now. So I finally own some stuff, but just not like a full size. But and then at New York,
I've given up at this point.
Yeah,
I'm gonna wait for the postage stamp size commission opportunities to come out.
Well, Jeff, you collect Star Wars, and that just happens to be his most crazy market.
Right?
Like anytime he does anything Star Wars, so.
And then this past New York Comic Con, and Kavi, you've seen these, but I got slots for Nick Dragata, Daniel Warren Johnson, and Sanford Green. And so people who know me know like Black Bolt and Ghost Rider and Usagi Yojimbo are essentially like my 3 go-tos when I get commissions. So I had all 3 of those guys do their take on Usagi. So this is from Dragata.
Sweet.
That might be the first depiction of that character that I've ever seen where the artist made the character look realistic, not cartoony.
Yeah,
it's what I mean, like a little bit more realism.
Yeah, for sure.
That's really cool.
And then this was Daniel Warren Johnson's take.
There you go.
Yeah, that's neat.
Man, I love Dragata so much. I wanted the East of West page so bad, or something, or a cover ideally, but it's impossible now.
And then this one was Sanford Green's take.
That's cool.
That's my favorite one of those 3, I think.
Yeah, he based it on a variant cover that he had done like a while back, or it was more of like a commission, but intended to be a variant. And so he actually brought that up on my phone and kind of wanted to like semi recreate that. And the coolest thing about these, the quick 4x6s, is that like you just stand there and they do it right in front of you. So it's just like a cool experience. You get to like chit chat with them, and a bunch of guys who were online with me from the community. And then
is that like a new standard size or something?
No, it's just, Felix was trying to find a way where more collectors could get stuff from these guys, because their lists are so short and fill up so fast, and the prices have like increased astronomically. Not that I want to throw anyone's business out there, but like less than 18 months ago, a 9x12 Daniel Warren Johnson was like $300. And if you got on his list for a 9x12 at New York Comic Con this past year, it was $900. So the price increased.
Yeah, that was for a 6x9.
A 6x9. I'm sorry,
not even a 9x12. That was a 6x9. My 6x9.
6x9, $900.
Yeah.
In 18 months.
So at New York Comic Con 2021, I got a 6x9 DWJ Electra piece that everybody's seen on my calf if you follow me there, or on social media or whatever. It was like one of my most popular pieces that I've ever shared publicly online. That was at that time a DWJ 6x9 was $300. That was New York Comic Con 2021.
Wow.
Chris and I were both at New York Comic Con 2022, and the price was $900 for the same size.
Yeah, so 12 months essentially.
Wow,
the price tripled.
And I don't know if there's really anything behind it or not, but it almost seemed like Felix kept shrinking the size to try to constrain DWJ's crazy artwork.
Yeah,
he puts more into commission than
a
most people would put into a published cover.
Well, at first it looks weird.
I think it was a way to shrink him down and speed him up.
Yeah, well, that was like kind of what he came up with these 4x6s. Was like, hey, here's a way that I can get these guys to essentially do like headshots only, and get them done in like 15 minutes or less. And so some fans who don't have $900 can spend like $100 to get this cool little 4x6 or whatever. And while they sit there, and it doesn't take up their whole day, and he doesn't have to like wrangle them to get the commission done. And so for me, it was really my only opportunity to get art from a couple of these guys. So like, you know, I was able to get, you know, like 6 or 7 4x6s for less than a Daniel Warren Johnson.
Right.
You know, 6x9.
They look great, all of them together. You know, once you see so many that size, it just starts to become normal, and they look awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, that was cool.
But I do want to say, in the late 80s, I once turned down a Stan Sakai, right? That's his name, the Sagi,
yeah.
A sketch from him, because he was charging $5 and he was a little grumpy about it, whereas like every other artist at the time was giving you those for free. So I was like, hell no.
Yeah, that's a remember when experience that a lot of us younger guys have never experienced.
$5.
Hey, Issues.
Yes.
Out of curiosity, now that you've got like a few pieces like that are what I call really small, what do you do? Like, how do you display / store them?
So I have them stored in like just like a little, like almost like a photo portfolio that fits like 5 or 7 photos.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
My plan is to frame them eventually, but if I would like to get some more.
Okay,
Get a few more of the exact same size, and it'll look great.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm already I want to get sort of just like a thin frame that I could put vertical, and I want to put like all 3 of the Usagis together, just like one kind of small like vertical setup. And then I want to get like a few more characters from some of his other artists over the next year or so, and then maybe make like a frame that could fit 5, 6, 7 of them, and that way they're all kind of together. I mean, at least that's what I have in my head. We'll see what happens if I actually acquire any more or not, and then I'll kind of go from there.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, so we had a question from Ronald. If you commission an artist and later on the artist uses the art that you own and paid for a published cover later, should you get a cut of the money? No. I mean,
no.
Short answer is no. I think Marcus has answered it here in the chat, but basically the answer is no. You own the art, the physical piece of art, and you can resell that piece of art, and you don't have to cut in the artist if you resell the piece of art. That's all you have the rights to. You don't have the rights to utilize it, commercialize it, monetize it, or anything.
Yeah, I think that came up recently because, I mean, same thing, getting back to Felix, but Kavi, I think you watched that show, or we talked about it, that Ryan Stegman took a list a couple years ago for some commissions, and it was like $300 for some like 9x12 kind of like headshots and bust commissions. And his list took forever, but I think like over half of them got used by Marvel as actual covers.
And and Biggie's making a good point here. Like it'll increase the resale value of that piece, like if you choose to part with it. But you don't have any rights to it beyond that.
Just $300 for like a Ghost Rider Stegman, and then it got turned into a Marvel cover before the guy who commissioned it.
So now that's a $2,000 piece at least.
Yeah, exactly. Like you could quadruple your money. So that's
I mean, just for anybody who may be watching silently and not saying anything, to be clear, anytime you buy original artwork, the only thing you're ever going to own as a collector is the physical original art. You get no reproduction rights. So you don't benefit at all ever if anybody decides to take that image and reproduce it in any way, shape, or form, you know? That's it. You just own
unless
the original.
You somehow worked out a contract for that in advance and had everybody sign. But like the built-in, legal expectation is what you just said. So all right. Do you have anything else you want to share, Chris?
Book.
I had two
sure.
left.
Go for it.
That's it. If we have more time later, I could show some other stuff.
Yeah, no worries. Show as much as you
want.
want.
I also got this last year at the C2E2 St. Jude's charity auction. It was just another quick Daniel Warren Johnson Murder Falcon piece.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool.
So that was
nice.
So I mean, I have plenty of his stuff now, so it takes like the pressure off me having to get one, but eventually I would like to. And then this is probably my favorite piece that I got last year from Felipe Andrade. This commission.
Nice.
Black Bolt.
Oh wow.
That's awesome.
That's a great.
Very nice.
I love that Lockjaw too.
Yeah, so cool. And he was really awesome. And I mean, it's not like the Garza story, but it was a long wait, but it was worth it for sure. But he had a lot of family stuff going on.
Long wait, but at least a good customer service process.
Oh yeah, I mean, like he had a lot of personal stuff going on, and he lives overseas. But like, I was contacted by the rep twice during that time period to be like, "Yo, it's taking longer than expected. Do you want a refund or do you want to wait?" So like, it was never any kind of like me feeling any kind of way about it. It was like a perfectly fine experience. And when I asked for the commission, it was like one character, and I had been like, "Oh, Black Bolt," but if like there was some way he could incorporate something Lockjaw related, that would be cool. And I guess, because it took so long, they kind of essentially it became like a 2-character piece. So it worked out.
Yeah.
It worked out for me. But yeah.
I mean, and generally that's all it takes. Like when you're dealing with commissions, is for somebody just to be upfront about what's going on. I think most people are accepting of like shit happens, like it's when people are like not responding or like not.
Transparency and
exactly. I mean, that's what gets frustrating. I mean, with anything, but when you deal with people who work for themselves, contractors, like whatever, you see this kind of stuff all the time, and it's like, it just happens when you deal with people directly. I mean, some people are better at it than others, I guess, or more.
All comic book animals are welcome, but Chicago Schultz throwing a vote for Lockjaw over Pizza Dog. Love that. What up, Carlito in the house? Good to see you, brother. All right. Anybody else wanna do a little sharing? I mean, I brought some scans / slides as well, not just the Elektra commission unboxing, so I can
show
always
one
get
cool thing.
Okay, let's do it, man.
And in the meantime, somebody in the chat, please give me the score of the game. Thank you.
All right, so this is really big, and yeah, it's not comic art, but it's original. So it's a background.
Okay.
So this is actual paint, and then there's 3 cells on it, and it's Eon Flux.
Oh yeah.
This massive piece. I guess
there
I
you
got.
go. I'll put you full screen real quick. There you go.
Oh, Eon Flux.
Yeah, that's a anime cell grail right there.
Wow.
How wide is that? How wide is
it?
It
is 40 by 18 because I'm trying to find a frame.
Oh yeah.
Trying to figure out how to do that, but yeah,
really cool.
That's really nice.
I love the fact that it's so widescreen.
It is, man. Look at that.
Very cinematic,
Cowboys 6-0, Ruben.
Thanks, Ronald.
Yeah,
and
those size backgrounds would be used for panning shots.
Was that how that was designed? Was the background originally intended to have multiple cells with it?
Yeah, so it was for the commercial for the like DVD collection or something, and they like panned the camera over the background while they did all this, animation. She was like shooting, it was this cool like shot of her like turning and shooting like right at the camera. But yeah,
was that one of those heritage when like they did a animation cell specific auction or something?
Yeah, it was,
or anime specific, I think.
It wasn't a cheap one, but it was right at the beginning of the auction, and I think that helped it go a lot cheaper than it could have.
Right, so it went alphabetical by title because there's no artist credited, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, there is a.
Is there?
Peter Chung, because he's the original creator and artist. I got another one from that actual part too. Really beautiful. So.
Oh, hold on. Let me full screen you. There you go.
Oh,
really good.
Damn.
Yeah.
I don't buy too much animation stuff, but that.
Yeah. Nice.
And then I contacted him, and he. I showed him like all this stuff I got, and then he sent me actually some drawings from the actual.
Oh wow!
Oh, cool.
So it was really nice of him to do that. Just totally free. It was like, wow, okay. And like another colored one.
Right.
Damn! So a lot of different steps involved.
Yeah. It's amazing. The detail, like he sent me like a ton of them, like from those other ones too, like. The detail is just phenomenal.
Oh, that's cool that he gave you all those extras as freebies.
Because
he threw in every bit of the process along the way, right?
Yeah. And like he could easily have sold this thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, any of those would have sold individually.
Yeah.
That's really neat.
I've only started watching it because Knights sent me a link to watch it a while back, so I watched those.
You never heard of it? Well, I think you've heard of it.
I had heard of it. It just wasn't in my childhood per se. So
one of those shows that, like, well, to me, the first like 6 ones where like there's no dialogue, they just always hold up still. You know, it's only,
those
like,
are great.
3 minutes long, and they'll still be good like 30 years from now. And I got one more thing. This is a little different too. These are zinc plates from 1960s manga.
Oh, damn.
So that's pretty neat. Something you don't see too often.
So the artwork from the artist was imprinted onto those plates, and then that was used in manufacturing the book.
Yeah, similar to what we do in America here.
Yeah,
but I think the ones I've seen of those, they're like curved. I don't really understand the.
I've never seen one in person, and held one in my hand, so I don't know.
Those are cool,
but really neat.
That is cool.
Thankfully, zinc is relatively non-toxic, so that's cool.
Okay.
You can touch it like that, yeah.
Now you're telling me.
No, I said non-toxic.
No, it's non-toxic.
You're safe, man.
You don't lick all your lead plates, Ruben?
What's that?
You don't lick all your lead plates? You crazy Canadians.
Yeah,
well, that's a first. We've never had a zinc plate on Original Art Hour, so.
I've also been getting some old manga.
Oh wow!
I've been big into Japanese stuff, and every now and then I've been finding more and more. It's like, kind of
as in a published page, or is that actual art?
Yeah, that's a page. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
This is from.
Is that the art to the page?
Sorry.
Is that the art to the page, or is it the published page, or is it?
This is the art.
Wow. Okay, so that makes it's real. That's real rare.
Yeah, this is real. Yeah, it's from 1961, I think. This is Jiro Kuwata. You might know him from. He did the Batman manga over there, which is kind of famous here. But yeah, it was really neat to be able to get some of this stuff.
Wow. Yeah, a friend of mine has stuff that looks very, very much like that from the same time period that he got in Japan, actually. So
is it Jeff Singh?
Yeah, Jeff. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I'd love to see his.
This is a different artist, but it was a color piece, which I thought was neat to have.
Wow.
Oh, that's really neat.
It's not, anything
really
spectacular,
nice,
but cool to have color.
Yeah, the red in particular is really vibrant. So nice.
Yeah.
The yellow too. Yeah.
And then let me grab this one here.
Hey, what's up? Bub's in the house. Bub's Comics. Good to see you, Bub.
This one, yeah, you're getting an exclusive here. So these when you get in Japan, you get these back in the day in the 50s and 60s, well, even now, but so you get a big manga book. They're huge, and they have all kinds of stories in them. They're anthologies, and but also they would throw in freebies of little comics like this one. It's like a samurai book, and you get like a few of those. I think it was wrapped with twine or something. Okay. But this was a really awesome find. It's not like exactly like the most I like ninjas and stuff like that, so it's not like super action packed.
I like ninja turtles, but also ninjas, but also ninja assassins like Elektra. So yeah, ninjas are great.
So here's one, and it's a black and white in the inside, but manga, whatever, and it's got a cool like cover. So I was able to find the actual original art of that.
Wow.
Wow.
And it's pretty small, but pretty amazing.
How stuff up?
Here we go. So.
Whoa.
Oh, that's cool.
That's beautiful.
Oh, God.
Pretty neat. And compared to the prices in America for comic art, especially if you're like talking like some kind of published painting, I mean,
published cover.
Yeah, but what's the availability like? Like I mean, I'm sure you have a little bit more insight than us because I don't collect it or I don't have knowledge of it. in general.
It's hard, and you gotta kind of. I mean, even just buying anything, you kind of have to be prepared for bad things to happen sometimes. But
yeah,
after a while, though, you start. You just learn a lot as you keep collecting, and you start to like. As for me, I'm learning more in the language, so I can figure things out a little.
Well, yeah, I
easier.
mean, I think in general, you've focused on the, your Eastern Japanese toy collection, your manga. Now you're getting the original art in the manga space. So it seems like you've kind of, I don't want to say pivoted, because you still collect you still have a comic book collection and
Yeah.
Western original art clearly, but
Yeah, I mean, I would love to
yeah.
buy all that stuff, but it's so I got into Golden Age comics, which is like the rare whatever. Like it's
Yeah, the
I
timeless.
was
That's
used
what
to
we
the
know.
hunt
That's what we
being
know. At least when I say we, I mean like the comic book collectors in the community know you for originally is you're a timely collector. You know?
Golden, and
Yeah.
I'm used to the hunt being hard for that. So I guess
Definitely.
that is probably some of the enjoyment. But like, to be able to find original art like this is just amazing.
Cool. And Knights, where more or less are you picking this stuff up? Like oddball, like auction houses that few people know about, that kind of stuff?
Well, it's kind of a mix. So like you got your usual stuff like Yahoo Japan and stuff like that, where you can nowadays you can have a service where they'll bid it for you and you just pay like fees and stuff.
Right.
Okay.
Then
So
I have like some
proxy.
friends in Japan, and then since I've been doing it for a while now, I've been kind of trying to find the mom and pop shops who might have an online presence somewhere, or my friend goes to the shop or whatever and sees stuff. But it's sometimes you have to kind of gamble at times. Like stuff isn't, but generally things aren't more than $5,000. So I mean, you don't want to lose $5,000 obviously, but like it's not gonna be the end of the world if you lose like $700 or something. I don't know.
Right.
But like
there's always going to be risk involved with the online, purchasing thing, right?
And that's how it was. I remember eBay when that first started. It was kind of the same, like you didn't really know.
It was the Wild West, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that, except if you think you're going to get some kind of customer service, you're not. If something goes weird, but you get to know like the sellers too. So once you buy something from someone, then you'll get to see them around, and it's like, they're not going to be selling screwed up stuff if they're the like Anthony of whatever.
Right. Yeah. Do you by any chance, are you aware of this auction house called Mandarake?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that too. Yeah, you can also that's the safest. That's absolutely
that's what I was gonna say, because if you didn't know it, I was gonna say you can trust them. I know that, So
but prices still it's cheaper than American stuff. But most of
offer, Mr. Garrell is making the offer, and now it's out there in the community. If anybody wants to trade dollar books for art, he's your guy. Hey, you never know, man. Never know. I'm gonna share. What's up, Barbarian Kung Fu? Chad, good to see you, man. Welcome. All right, anybody want to volunteer? I can go. I have my stuff preloaded, but if anybody else wants to volunteer to share in between, let me know. Anybody?
How many are left? There's 3 of you left.
I can jump in.
Jeff, Tony, and JP, I guess.
Yeah, there's 3 more guys.
Because my stuff isn't scanned, so I'm sure it'll be the most disappointing.
All right.
So we can throw it in the middle, and then you can.
I doubt it. I doubt it. But we'll give you the floor here.
Jeff the floor.
Thank you for hanging, Jeff.
Yeah. So most folks who do know me know I'm a Star Wars collector, so I figured I'd bring one small piece, which was the Jeffrey Moy Heroes coaster fundraiser Darth Vader that he did that they had on eBay a couple weeks ago. So not only good art, but supporting a good cause for those folks that don't know about Heroes. It's a organization that raises money to help artists particularly in their retirement with health bills and that kind of stuff. So,
particularly comic book artists.
Yes, comic book artists.
Yeah.
So always a good time when you can get good art.
I have a Art Baltazar Magneto from a Hero Initiative coaster event that I attended a while back. So it's pretty fun.
Yeah, and I'm not sure when they shifted their drink and draw to do the coasters.
The coaster thing? I don't know. Probably. I don't know the exact timing, but yeah, I'm happy to have
they've been doing
one
it
of them
for a while.
Yeah, I'm happy to have one of them. I want more though. They're cool.
Yeah.
Marcus, you drinking or what?
Who what?
No, I just shouted out Marcus. It looks like he's telling us that he's having a beer now.
Maybe. Or maybe something happened in the game that he's happy about. I don't know. I don't know.
He's emojiing drink and draw.
Oh, drink and draw. Yeah, okay.
Oh, there you go.
That makes sense.
Would be my guess.
Yeah. Well,
and then so that was my little Star Wars piece because it's all Ruben's fault that I've now been chasing some X title art.
Oh, okay. I know what you're saying now. Okay.
Back in the day when I was
bring on the pickles.
Well, yeah. So back in the day when I was actually collecting and reading comics, it was mostly X titles,
Right.
X-Men, the original Uncanny before the Jim Lee series even launched and stuff. And then I was watching a couple of Ruben shows with some of the more recent X art that Andrew Hennessy was inking, and then Pickles the Bamf was in there. And that just struck a chord back to that issue with Kitty's Fairy Tale from the original series. And since I can't afford Dave Cockrum art or Paul Smith art or any of those guys anymore, it was a good modern alternative. And so I've started doing that a little bit. And so recently I picked up an Al Rio prelim for New Mutants Forever. Let's see if I can get the glare off of this.
Yeah, we could see it.
So it's Sunspot and Warlock fighting some bad guys at the top panel. And then in the middle, there's a little inset where they find out that Sunspot's mom, who's been in the background, has been injured. And then Warlock shifts sort of into his human guise as Sunspot's holding his mom, who's been wounded in the battle. And,
nice.
It's a Chris Claremont story, Al Rio pencils. And then at the same time, from the same,
is that like is that like on an A3 size paper or?
Yeah, it's a little bit bigger than 8.5 by 11.
Okay.
I got the Bob McLeod inked board for the final published art.
Nice.
Oh, that's an Al Rio, right?
So it's Al Rio layout pencils and then Bob McLeod inks.
Yeah.
Nice, dude.
That's cool. It looks very, very McLeodish. Anyways,
it really does look very McLeodish.
He definitely took
Bob
over
McLeod, one of the co-creators of New Mutants.
Oh yeah.
So that book I think was 2010. A lot cheaper than picking up an original McLeod New Mutants Volume 1 piece. So
that's for sure.
Yeah, New Mutants Volume 1 is very challenging.
Although I did pick up a page from that recently on Heritage that I think was overlooked because
it was an
inventory
have it in hand
issue.
Yet, or is it still on the way to you, or do you have
no?
Well, you don't have to share it here.
Be arm's reach. Hold on a second.
Yeah, no, well, up to you. You don't have to. If you want to pull it, you can go pull it, but you don't have to.
I'll have to pull it out of the bag.
Take your time. You could always come back to you if you want. You got
That's
time.
cool.
Oh, there we go.
So it was an issue with Magma and Hercules.
Oh.
And it went in the inventory and wasn't used, and then they needed a fill-in issue.
An intimate page.
Right.
That's cool.
And so they're
that's a nice
ended
one,
up
dude.
running about 20 issues later than the time period when it was written. And so they had to add a couple pages at the beginning and the end to fit it into the current New Mutants timeline. And so they did it as a flashback story. And so that original end page got redrawn on a different board by a fill-in inker. where he changed the bottom third to tie into the new end page to put the bookends on that flashback sequence. And I don't think most folks realize that, because Heritage listed it as unknown artist, unknown issue, unpublished inventory. And once I saw it, I was like, well, no, the top 2/3 of that got inked and was used as the next to last page in issue 81.
You fooled, you beat Heritage at their game.
That's right.
There you go. Well, cool, man. Are you still like? Is there anything else on your New Mutants X-Men goal list, or are you kind of just going to go back to your Star Wars comfort zone moving forward, or anything you're looking for?
No, it runs the gamut, but mostly I'm just looking for, like, the Pickles stuff. Kitty's Fairy Tale, that issue, was a standout one from when I was a kid. So if there's a certain panel or something or a storyline that strikes that nostalgia, in a new story, a new title, so the art is considerably cheaper.
Yeah.
And so, as Ruben says, fun and affordable. That's what I'm looking for in terms of X titles at the moment.
Yeah.
Where Star Wars, I'm just chasing whatever I can find.
Yeah, I'm in that.
You guys aren't grabbing.
Yeah, I understand, but I don't think the rest. Well, JP understands a little bit as well because he's into Star Wars art. He picked up a bunch of some High Republic stuff, right? Yeah.
We're talking Cam Kennedy from like the 90s.
You're on mute, JP.
Oh,
but,
sorry.
Yeah. But, if you're into schlong art, apparently Ruben's going to have a schlong art special on his channel. Sorry, YouTube censors. Bulgy art. Oh my god.
Well, I'm sure that strips cover would have to lead off, right, Ruben?
I think that's where the conversation stemmed from. That piece, that Chuck Austin piece. All right. Anything else you want to share, or should we move on to the next guy? Yeah.
I think that covered it.
All right, man. Well, thank you for sharing, man. I always appreciate people sharing on here. All right, let me get back out to here. Anybody else ready to share, or should I go? Tony?
Hey, sure, I'll do.
All right, let's go some of you, man. I'll bring you over here. I can see you.
All right, Jamie Tyndall, White Widow #5. Oh, wow. Jamie Tyndall is doing a Whatnot show. We started doing it. He put some sketches up. This is the only piece I could win. Too many battles in there. And
that's a full 11x17 like commission piece. Wow.
This is actually the White Widow. This is the White Widow #5 cover.
Okay, so
it's a variant.
It's a variant.
Cover, but it looks huge. It just maybe it's just a camera angle, or
it might just be the vertical camera trickery thing.
Yeah. And it came with this. It came with the metal, like
the metal print. Wow,
it's all metal.
That's cool.
Like a little poster, like a little outline, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I love those metal tin prints. Right? Yeah, those are great.
Yeah, it's my first one. I've never seen those before. I'm like, that's pretty cool. So I'll show off my ladies first that I got since the last show.
Thank you for getting here through Tony's link. Appreciate it. Oh, I think what is this?
Lorenzo Prolonga. This is the preliminary because I've seen like he has it on his website, the original the final painted form. But this is the Lady Death Swimsuit Edition cover. And this is I guess this pencil is preliminary. It was nicely colored. I mean, it has some color in it too, but it's really nice.
Boobies.
Like the pencil.
So was that so someone else inked over it? So the inker has like an inked version. Is that what you were trying to say, or?
Yeah, there is a final on his website. There is a finalized version of this, fully painted version.
Wow.
I didn't realize that.
Okay. So these are the pencil prelims for a painting he did.
Yes.
Okay. Got it. Great. That's beautiful pencils. Beautiful prelim.
Yeah. Really in depth there. Really nice. And a little color. And my last Lady Death that I picked up was the latest one a couple weeks ago.
Ooh.
This is by Diego Bernard. I'm not sure which Lady Death book this one's from. I just saw.
I think it says it at the top, but I'm not insanely familiar with the title, so I don't know.
It just says Lady Death number 75, 15. But again, I don't think there's any Lady Death books unless they're talking about an older book. But I need to look for it.
Tony, Tricky Trapster
You know,
is calling me freaky ass Tony.
I think ass is the wrong body part to specify with Tony.
All right, so those are the end of the ladies. All right.
Yeah, he's got a certain style, a little top heavy, I think, top heavy style.
Freaky tits, Tony.
Well, they were lovely, and we appreciate your share.
I love Tricky. This is Ed McGuinness.
Oh, wow.
I think it's Amazing Spider-Man number 15.
That's Ben Reilly, right?
Yeah.
Ben Reilly.
Yes.
That's the very, very new stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, that just
and
came
Kamala
out.
Khan on there too.
Very new. Yeah. It came out like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, Paul P put some of that stuff from.
Oh yeah, he posted a cover, I think, right? For one of those issues, Ed McGuinness.
Yeah, that's cool. Wow.
I came in late. I didn't see it till later on. I'm like, damn it. But I love that. Yeah, Venom. I love McGuinness's art. I love it, and I always visit his site, and I saw that he had some pages up.
Yeah, you are a big McGuinness guy. You have a lot of McGuinness.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes, I do.
Yeah, that's
nice,
Ron Lim.
Dude.
Ron Lim.
Yeah, so good.
And I was watching Ruben last night. You know, I was looking for Galacticus, and I was looking for Doctor Doom, and I finally picked up a Doctor Doom. Galacticus next.
Oh yeah.
Again, it's from Fantastic 5, number 3, like this, the volume 2. I need to look for the comic book. I never read it, never picked it up. But I saw the Doom one, and I sent him a price on eBay, and he took it.
Nice.
Very cool.
That's great.
Yeah.
It looks like he's holding. It looks like he's holding the Wicked Witch of the East's magic wand, though. What's happening there?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on in that comic book, really. Yeah.
The lollipop.
He joined the Lollipop Guild.
The
That's
ultimate
cool,
lollipop.
You got to get your Galactus now, Tony.
My favorite Thanos and McGuinness.
Woo.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I know. That's what I need.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a 1 out of 50.
I think you're frozen. You're frozen. Oh, there you're back.
Okay. This is 1 out of 50 from the last Thanos book. What was it? Days End or Night End, whatever it is. But I love Thanos. Look at that face.
Is that what is he holding there? Is that a hammer? What is that?
It's Mjolnir.
Yeah, Mjolnir? Yeah. Mjolnir with the Infinity Stones.
Mjolnir? Oh.
Yeah, it's from
with the Infinity Stones on it.
Oh, I see. Okay. That's what
they introduced a new Infinity Stone as well in that book.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. And that's what's on that gauntlet that he's wearing on his left hand that's shining.
Oh.
That's like a new gauntlet that holds the new Infinity Stone.
Oh, okay.
That's such an imposing cover, though. It's really good.
Yeah, I saw that and like I had to have it. And the last one I picked up, we picked this one up. Remember, paying up time payments.
Oh yeah, I was there when you locked the time payment deal with Anthony on that one. Yeah, I remember that.
That's cool.
And it took you a while to pay it off, I remember, and you picked it up several months later. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a pretty pricey cover. That's Tyler Kirkham, but it's really awesome.
Yeah, it was a little pricey, but again, I've been seeing it. He had it for a long time. He got it knocked down a little bit, but I've been eyeing it for the longest time. I was like, why not? If you accept the time payments, why not? I'll take it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that one's really cool, dude. You gonna put that on the wall? Somewhere?
Yeah, this one's going on the wall.
Yeah.
This was on the wall. I took it down.
Oh, you took it down. Sorry.
No, I took it down because I'm gonna do Ruben's show in a couple of weeks, and I've been sending him scans or something.
Nice, great. So you reached out to him. Good.
Yeah.
Hey, let me show.
Yeah, you reached out to me. I
love it. I love it when my friends talk and collaborate. What's up? We got Rajiv, Comic Art Talk. He has been on the OA Hour before. Good to see you, bro. Thanks for popping in here.
Oh, I watched that one. I remember him. Yeah.
Yeah. If you didn't see he's got some awesome Jim Lee, Superman, and Batman stuff. He's got an awesome collection. And he's had a YouTube channel about comic art for probably the longest out of anybody out there, but he's not as prolific with the content. So, yeah, and I guess there's a lot of points being scored in this football game at the moment. So that's interesting.
Yeah,
hey, let me show one that goes with that Thanos that he showed real quick.
Yeah, sure. I'll swap you to the hot seat real quick.
Real quick. This was a sketch I got. Jim Starlin one off of Dueling Deal. So Anthony as well.
I remember you claiming that one. I think.
Yeah, I was like, that's just so cool, and it was like old Stalin. So I was like, I had to. And then I was like, I have no idea what prices were like at all. So I was like, Kavi, did I just make a terrible mistake?
Did you ask me about that one? I don't remember.
You said like I did okay.
What did I say?
You were like, it wasn't a terrible mistake, but you weren't like good deal.
Yeah, I was like, I think I felt like it was priced aggressively, but not unfairly. Is what I said.
But I always loved Warlock, and yeah, this would go good with that Thanos. Damn you!
I mean, it has a very vintage feel to it, obviously. So
yeah, they claimed. I mean, I don't know.
You don't know for sure, right. But
they claimed that it was a period piece from back then.
Right, but it's not dated. Specifically though, so
but the signature or something, I don't know.
Very cool.
Good luck to me for trying to convey that if I ever sell it.
All right. So should I go, JP, or do you want to go? Because I've shared technically something already. You want to go? Yeah.
I think you guys have. Well, you guys have seen everything that I have, but
JP's been sitting patiently for like an
hour.
I'm
not. You guys have way better. You have way cooler stuff than I have generally. So,
nah, it's all cool stuff.
So I did get my first page I ever got. This is the first page I ever picked up. This is Cliff Chang pencils, Andy Park arts on a Nightwing page.
I brought a Cliff to share today later.
Yeah. And
love Cliff.
So, had to like my first page had to be a Nightwing page. That was just
Is he your favorite character, JP?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool.
For sure. I like my
as not witnessed by those comics, right?
Comics behind him.
Yeah. I was on Magic Lasso's last night. We were talking about Nightwing, so that's why I got the Nightwing background.
Happy
is that McLeod back there on those covers? Scott.
That's McDaniel.
Oh, or McDaniel's. Yeah.
Yeah, which is what I still need. Is I still need a McDaniel page at some point of Nightwing for sure.
Mm.
And then this
McDaniel as well.
Yeah, this is a Phil Hester, Andy Parks inks.
That's cool.
Nice
page from that same run. A little later issue, but yeah, from that same run. So I picked those up, and then the other page I got this year, Kavi already talked about, is my High Republic page. One High Republic page.
Nice.
The best page possibly in that book.
That's nice.
Yeah, if you're gonna get one, that's a good one.
That's like one of the best, not the best.
Ario and Andito.
Yes, Ario. Yep. I mean, I just love this page when he posted, so I'm so glad I managed to snag it. And then I had to laugh because Kavi directed me to the inker, and
Mark Morales.
So I waited like a week till I got paid, and then I contacted him, and he sold it the weekend before at a con, so I could not get both the inks. I was so disappointed, but yeah.
But you've got the original art. I mean, the inks are out there, but
I know it would have just been fun to have them both.
Yeah.
and he was like, "Oh, I contacted him on like Tuesday, and he's like, "Oh, I sold that on Saturday at the con." I was like, "Dang it!" so those were my page pickups, and then I got a few like commission pieces this year. If I get to the right spots here, this was Kavi hooked me up with Stephanie Levod.
Oh yeah, she's amazing.
Oh wow.
C2.
She did that Darth Maul for me at C2. C2 one.
Beautiful.
Man. Oh no.
Yeah,
she's beautiful.
That girl for me.
She's so talented, and she's still cheap, which is insane.
Oh, she was ridiculous for this. Really? It was ridiculously cheap.
How much was that? Ish.
I'm trying to remember now. Was it?
I want to say it was 100 or less, but I don't remember how less.
I think it was 100.
What?
I don't know if it was 100 or 125. I think it was 100.
What?
Great deal. Yeah.
Really? Damn.
So good.
Where is she based?
She's French. She's a French artist.
Okay.
Stephanie.
So she flies in from Europe and
I believe
to
so. She's repped by Annabelle, Kirby's comic art.
She's repped by Annabelle?
She's repped by Annabelle. She has not been on any published books or anything like that.
Yeah, no, I get that.
So she's more just an illustrator right now. But yeah.
Right. But she's repped by Annabelle, and Annabelle she allows her to keep her prices for painted stuff.
At least as of C2E2 2022. I can't speak to beyond that.
Wow.
But,
okay, so her name and Andy and Veronica making out the list.
Andy and Veronica Fish. Yeah. Andy Fish, Veronica Fish, Stephanie Lavod still can get high quality, cheap commissions from these 3 artists as far as I'm
not
aware.
for long. Get them quick.
Not
guys.
for long.
And then I got this Jason Metcalf piece at Planet Con.
Nice
stuff on the floor.
I like that.
That's nice. Yeah.
And then not my most recent piece, but because I think I actually got that Star Wars page after this, but the most recent commission was one I posted not that long ago to our thing, was a Poison Ivy piece I got from an artist who goes by Salor.
Oh, I like that one. Yeah.
Wow.
Very colorful. That's nice.
Yeah.
The colors are fantastic. Yeah.
You're picking great ones, or they're giving you a lot
flowers.
Well, yeah, the 3 were all commissioned. Yeah.
Wow.
I think JP's had some really good results with color commissions, which is not usual. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he does a lot. Like he does, and he's fairly cheap too. Because I think there was 200 for this color.
Okay. I mean, the quality is there.
Wow.
200. Look at that. Yeah.
That's amazing.
So.
And how long did that take?
That took. It was supposed to be like he gave me the estimate he gave me when I did it was like he said like 3 to 4 months, and I think it ended up taking 5. And he like apologized when he got to the end of it. He's like, "Yeah, we got a little behind."
Do sometimes if it takes longer, do you think that they maybe give you a little bit better quality sometimes?
No, like I'll be honest. Like if you go back and look, he posted because he'd done a whole round of commissions when he did mine, and there was he posted on Instagram, and there's 9 commissions that all went out about the same time, and they were all like that. I mean,
oh wow,
yeah. So. I mean, he posts stuff. He's been posting stuff for sale here recently on his Instagram, and I've been tempted to buy several of them, and I just didn't really have the money at the moment, so I haven't bought any more. But I will at some point. So
awesome. Anything on your wish list for this year? Since you're I know you bought your first published pages last year. So what else do you want? What are you looking for?
I haven't really taken the time to really sit down and think about it, but I still want to get for me a grail just for me is a McDaniel Nightwing page. Yeah. At some point I want to try to track one of those down. And beyond that, I think it's just looking for good opportunities.
Yeah.
Are those hard to get, those McDaniel pages?
They're not super hard, but I don't see them too often. And finding one with I've found several pages for fairly cheap, but if he's on the page, it's usually really small, or he's out of costume or something like that. It's finding one with him, a good image of him in the costume on the page has been a little tougher.
Yeah, I remember I looked for him a while ago, and I was surprised because I know he did that issue forever.
Yeah, he did it for quite a while.
I couldn't find barely anything, so I was surprised about that.
Well,
I've got a couple McDaniels in my share. Although they're repeats if you caught me on Ruben's show, but whatever. If you didn't, you'll get to enjoy them again.
Yeah.
Those are cool targets, and I think realistic targets for you.
No, I mean the prices I've seen on McDaniel stuff is not outrageous. So,
I mean, it'd be worth reaching out to him. He's pretty active still on his site.
He is. He's responsive, and that's how I got my McDaniel stuff is directly from him. So.
Just reach out to him direct. I know he has a website, and I looked at it one time, and he had a page that I was interested in. And I just didn't have the money at the time, and I haven't really.
He's pretty responsive. If you even if you just float out a category of art like that, he might. Yeah. You never know. He might.
JP, do you ever go to Comic Art Fans by any chance?
I have not. I never.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I probably in the last year more than doubled the amount of art I had, so I never really had done it yet. So.
Okay, no, I'm only asking because there's a guy on there, right? He has a gallery. I believe his name is Matt Moore with a E at the end.
Okay.
And for years, this guy has posted McDaniel work, and I'm pretty sure I remember seeing tons of Nightwing covers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I think so. I never looked into it because I really didn't care, but I always kind of assumed that he must have cleaned McDaniel out of that stuff,
probably,
right? And then at some point started just offering them for sale or whatever. But if you check the Comic Nut Fans website, you may find something from him that if you're looking for a cover, especially, I'm pretty sure he's got some.
Well, I doubt I can afford a cover at the moment, but you never know. Just depends. Like I said, it's always about opportunity. So and I've been thinking. I look on it occasionally, but I've never made a profile, which is what I was
right.
At some point, I may do to post some stuff, but I don't have that much to post yet. So but no, I'll have to look and see.
Another place to post things and share things.
I know.
It can be, it can be. There's pros and cons to it because obviously it's another thing you have to spend time posting to, which a lot of us are posting to like 4 different platforms or whatever, and so it just depends on, I guess, your bandwidth for it and if it aligns with your collecting goals, I suppose, or your collecting networking goals as well, if you have them, within art or otherwise. But thanks for sharing, dude. Appreciate that. So real quick before we, I guess, get to the tail end with my share, I'm going to reiterate the contest that we have, or not contest, the giveaway that we have currently going on. It is for this sketch cover. All you have to do is comment in the live chat. And your entry will be counted for the live drawing at the end. So far, we have 38 people entered into the live drawing. But again, this is a Mike Grell Green Arrow sketch. You have a Javier Avila Supergirl sketch, Michael Cho Superman sketch, and then you got signatures from Marv Wolfman, George Perez, Jim Shooter, Gail Simone, and Babs Tarr on that. So that is the giveaway. And like I said, all you have to do is comment anything in the live chat, and then you will be entered into the drawing that we're going to be doing at the very end of the show. If you happen to be the winner, hopefully you are here live to claim the winner. If you're not, I'm just going to draw until somebody who is in the chat becomes the winner, or possibly someone in the show. We'll see. So I know issues is like hanging on for this giveaway. I know his bedtime. Tricky's saying that he's gonna draw on the back. Yeah, why not? We got the big opening right there on the back.
There you go.
All right, so let's move on to my, I guess, pre-arranged stuff to share that I brought. Some of these, like I said, are, if you caught me on Ruben's show, are repeats, but I'm just gonna share a few of those here, not all of them. But I'm gonna start with this one, and this is kind of like I guess you could call this a blend between comics and music. It's not a published piece, but it's a homage piece to the Beatles album cover Revolver, which you can see on the right-hand side there. But rather than, John, Paul, Ringo,
it's awesome,
and George,
you
get the world of Spider-Man. So it's the artist is Eric Miedor, and it's obviously after the original artist of the Revolver album cover, Klaus Vormann.
So cool.
So cool. This is a 20 by 20 piece. I self-framed it. I still need to find a cool spot on the wall for it. I think it would be cool to have like near my music collection or vinyl collection somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't have much of a music collection these days or vinyl collection, but I got a small one. I don't really display it, but I think that would be cool. This would be a cool piece to like display near that or around that. Pretty self-explanatory, but it's pretty. I mean, look at all the detail. Look at all the characters. Like, there's a lot going on in it. It's a really, really true homage. And so, shout out to Eric for that. Eric is repped by Kirk Dilbeck. So, if anybody is familiar with Kirk, I think it's, what is it? 3 Arts Comic Wishes and something like that is the name of his rep firm or something. I could be saying that wrong, but yeah, this one's just a very unique piece of art in my collection. It's not anything specific. It's just so, I don't know. It's it's very specific to Spider-Man fans and Beatles fans, and I'm both. So,
just music fans in general.
And music fans, and music fans in general, vinyl fans. So.
Yeah, because you don't have to be a huge Beatles fan. You still would. You probably, if you're into like older, 60s rock, you would still recognize what this is, right? So yeah, really cool.
Possibly. I mean, if you're into that genre, and more than likely you're gonna know the Beatles covers.
Yeah.
So,
and Kavi, did you say that you were the guy who commissioned it, or you just bought it? It was already
no, he did it on his own.
Okay.
Because he was inspired by both Spider-Man and Beatles, and it was something that he did a long time ago, and that he never sold.
Oh wow!
And then he decided to sell it later on, and I bought it. So
wow, it's so cool. Yeah.
So
I would have
kind of doesn't fit into any of my other categories.
Spider-Man's to the left.
Yeah, Spider-Man. Sorry, what did you say, Tony?
The Spider-Man's on the left. Green Goblin. Yeah, Green Goblin's on the right. Right. The bottom right is Venom. Who's on the left?
That's a good question.
Who's Ringo?
Does anyone recognize that villain?
Yeah, it's a very simple eye mask, so it's kind of like
I'll ask Eric about that one.
Did he intend? You think maybe he intended it to be? a Doc Ock? Because those are
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that is Doc Ock.
The glasses. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, good call, Ruben.
Yeah, and his tentacles are there right beside him too.
I mean, that's the one that looks closest to the original, design-wise.
Right.
It's almost just a recreation in that section versus anything. But yeah, that one's a cool one. I wasn't sure if I was going to share it because it's kind of a weird one, but I think it's actually kind of one of my cooler pieces, even though
it is so cool.
Yeah, it's not a straightforward piece, but it's very
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, hey, Kavi. Some of those characters, like for instance, the black cat near the upper left corner, is it like pencil shading it's done with, or is that also inked in, or what?
Yeah, it's also inked in. I believe. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, and whoever the girl is, I don't know if that's supposed to be Mary Jane, but the one
that's Gwen Stacy.
The one that's right above the Doc Ock.
Oh,
I think that's MJ.
Yeah, that's
MJ. Up in
MJ? Okay. Yeah, that's MJ. Is that like pencil shading, or is that also kind of some ink wash?
I believe that's pencil shading. Like he's like in different parts of this, he uses different techniques.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy piece, honestly. It's
yeah. Is that, by the way, is that Juggernaut beside her?
Yeah.
Who is that? It looks like Juggernaut almost.
Yeah, the one in the middle.
Yeah,
that's Juggernaut.
Yeah, Juggernaut. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, can't wait till you post it in CAF one day.
Yeah, I'm gonna post it on CAF. Maybe this coming week I'll post some of these that I'm sharing on CAF. So yeah.
Really neat, man.
All right, next one. This is a repeat. I did share this on Ruben's show, but I added in the meme, the jealous girlfriend meme. So
that's awesome.
This is artwork from Archie, issue number 143. So it's a Silver Age Archie art by the artist Harry Lucy, and this is the story page 1. And it's the original. I mean, I'm gonna claim it's the original. I don't know, the original jealous girlfriend meme, or one of the many inspirations for it in pop culture, I suppose. But yeah,
it's classic. Awesome.
Yeah, it's just, I think it might be one of my favorite. I think it might be my favorite Archie piece that I own, probably because Harry Lucy is my favorite Archie artist, personal Archie artist. It's kind of like a little side category for me as far as collecting. But I thought this was both a well-drawn piece and a funny one. So
yeah, really neat.
When was that from? What year?
Definitely the 60s. Exact
awesome.
year off the top of my head, I don't remember.
You got to get that book somehow.
I do have the book. I do have.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I do have a floppy copy of it.
That's awesome.
The Silver Age. So yeah, I love that one. And then this one, I mentioned McDaniel earlier, so I shared both of these on Ruben's show as well. But this is Elektra, Root of Evil #1. This is the back cover. by Scott McDaniel, and he used a host of techniques on this and a frisket to create a lot of this like finely detailed inking ink work, and then all the pencils were erased underneath his ink work. But yeah, this is one of my favorite Electra pieces in the collection, and followed by the next one, which is the number 2.
Looks like an album cover.
I know, right? It's very cool because I don't have any other back covers, so it's definitely a first. And
nice.
These are my only McDaniels. But yeah, the back cover to Electra Root of Evil number 2 and the back cover to Electra Root of Evil number 1.
Yeah, really neat.
Yeah,
amazing.
And moving, I shared both of these, right? Yeah.
I think this one, personally, I like the second one better. I can't
decide if I can't decide if I like this one more than this one. I lean towards this one, but I mean, they both have size. They both have her, just different perspectives of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're both cool. It's cool to have the pair anyway. So
yeah, for sure. All right, moving on. Number 5 here. So I mentioned earlier when JP shared a Cliff Chang page that this is another Cliff Chang page.
Oh, wow.
Obviously, I'm big into collecting this particular book, this particular series, Paper Girls. This is page 21 from issue 14, Cliff Chang artwork, and of course Brian K. Vaughan wrote the book. Left that off on the slide, but one of my favorite books, period. And I just continue to add artwork from this book when the opportunity presents itself. For this particular issue, Felix did a drop of all the art for the issue, all at once. So he gave, all the collectors the chance to snag artwork, and, it was an instant sellout, as is a lot of the case for, Felix comic art drops. So I was lucky to get this and a couple other pages from this issue. So this is the one I'm sharing right now. But yeah, I mean, I can't, recommend the book high enough. I also really like the Amazon TV show, even though they're not continuing it, I guess, beyond that first season that aired. I thought it was really well done. So I just continue to recommend Paper Girls for anybody who hasn't read it. It's an incredible read. So.
Well, you got me hooked.
Yeah, Jeff, you read it, right? After I read it.
Well, I watched the Amazon series.
Oh, you watched the show first,
You'd been telling me about the art. And so I caught the Amazon series first, and then the moment I finished the series, I ordered the digital omnibus and read in 2 days.
Nice.
Yeah,
it's a quick read. It's only 30 issues, so it's a pretty speedy read, and easy to reread as well. So
did you get any covers?
Yeah, I own the cover to issue 15, the next
awesome.
Issue.
Awesome.
But the artwork to issue 15 sold years ago, whereas the artwork to issue 14 sold in 2022. So this is more, this is more of a newer pickup, I suppose, because they held that art back for this issue for quite a while. And moving on to the next, let me find the slide here. This is a piece, I don't remember exactly when I got this. Maybe it was 2021, maybe it was 2022, but I got this at a NJ ArtCon from the original commissioner. So it's a Mary Jane painting by Steve Rude. I want to say it's about 12 by 18, so it's a little bit larger than the size of my 11 by 17 scanner, unfortunately. This isn't the best capture of an image, but I'm a huge Steve Rude fan. And of course, MJ is a favorite as well among the universe of Spidey. And I think this is just a really good image. I got it for the, 3 figures, not 4 figures. And I know Steve charges like $2,000 for something similar. So I paid, I think, $700 for this. So I was happy to not have to wait out the commission process and get a stellar Steve Rude Mary Jane painting right here. So it's dated 2022, so it must have been done earlier or on in 2022, because I think the last time I went to ArtCon was like March 2022, maybe something like that, or sometime in the spring. I went to the Comic ArtCon in Jersey and snagged this Mary Jane. So yeah, the dude.
Very nice.
Yeah, man, I love this one. Another one that I don't have the wall space to display and would love to display somewhere, but not yet. All right, 2 more I brought for slides. I brought another kind of funny Archie page. This one's from Jughead, issue number 142 from 1967. It's the story page 1. I actually own this whole story. And so the artwork's by Bill Vigoda. It's a 6 or 7 page story, and this is the opening page of the story. And it's all 4 of your primary characters on there. Jughead, Archie, Betty, and Veronica. So, and I don't know, it checked all the boxes for me, and I didn't have a Bill Vigoda example, so I snagged the whole story, got the Bill Vigoda example, and got all the characters kind of interacting with each other here. So yeah,
it's a nice one.
Archie's awesome. I love Veronica's shirt. That's so cool.
Right? Yeah, look at her. Look at even like the
Betty's
the outfit on Betty is great too.
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah,
like it's
killer.
The clothing's really well drawn here.
Yeah, that's what I love. The period clothing is what makes it so awesome for me.
I always accidentally say Abe Vigoda too. Like whenever I think about Vigoda.
Yeah, they were brothers.
Like my head always instantly gravitates towards Abe's name for whatever reason.
Yeah.
This is another kind of little hidden gem favorite of mine in the collection, the Archie specific, I guess, collection. And last but not least, I don't remember even what I brought. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so this is something that is another kind of side category. I only have 2 published Flash Gordon pieces. One's a cover from an international sort of reprint of a Flash Gordon comic that was re-released internationally, and then the other is this is the only Sunday strip I own in my collection. So it's a Mac Rayboy Sunday strip from Halloween weekend, Halloween times in 1960. And it has pretty much, it doesn't have a spaceship. I guess that'd be the one thing that it doesn't have that, maybe I can upgrade in the future or whatever, but it's got the great close-ups of the faces. It's got the beautiful women in the 5th panel, the Rayboy, distinct Rayboy-ness to it. And I don't know, I really just, this is something I've always wanted. Flash Gordon, I kind of collect it vis-a-vis my Star Wars fandom, because it's kind of one of the main inspirations that George Lucas had, to create Star Wars, right? And so after being a Star Wars fan, I started kind of checking out some Flash Gordon stuff here and there, almost, by way of my Star Wars fandom. I was like, well, all this stuff really inspired George on Star Wars, so let me check some of this stuff out. And Mac Rayboy is fantastic. So yeah, this is what I'm ending with tonight.
Even though he stole it from Alex Raymond.
That's true. I can't afford an Alex Raymond Knights. I wish I. I wish I.
Well,
could,
the story was that Alex Raymond went to war, and when he came back, Rayboy was doing Flash Gordon, took his job.
Yeah.
Somebody had to do it. You're at war.
Somebody's got to be the next in line to draw the commercially successful product. I mean, same goes for Star Wars. So yeah, those are what I shared. And obviously, if you watched the beginning, I had the unboxing of those Andy and Veronica Fish pieces. So 10 more pieces shared from my collection that are out there if you want to enjoy them. Anything else you guys want to talk about? I mean, we're at the 2-hour mark, so I do want to do the giveaway part at some point here. But
yeah, do the giveaway so nobody leaves. It looks like we only have half the amount of current viewers as people who actually entered the giveaway. So they're hitting and running on you, Kavi.
Hey, what's up, Mad Spidey in the house? I mean, Mad Spidey's in Australia. So
Mad Spidey's from down under. There we go.
Yeah, he's at work in Australia at the moment. So he did just enter the giveaway, though, I suppose. By
I could do 2 more, Kavi.
Oh, you want to share 2 more?
And that's it.
All right. Well, why don't we do the giveaway, then you share 2 more, and then we'll wrap things up. All right. So I'm gonna share the screen so everybody sees this. Tab giveaway tool. Let me know when you guys are seeing something. See it?
There we go. Yep.
Right. There it is.
All right. So as you can see, it says we have 39 entries. Anybody, I'll give it about 30 to 60 seconds for anyone showing up right here. All you have to do is enter a comment in the live chat, or maybe you've been watching this whole time and for whatever reason are too shy to say anything. in the live chat. Feel free to say something in the live chat. Yeah, Issues is looking a little sleepy. I know
I'm wide awake, baby. I'm wide awake.
I realize what time it is for some of you guys who have proper sleep schedules. I'm a vampire, so personally, but Marcus is trying to predict the winner in advance. I believe Kenneth Bird was in here, but we don't know who the winner is yet.
That would be a pretty good prediction.
It'll probably be him.
It'll probably be him, and then he won't be here. That's my guess, but
he likes the hit and run. I told you.
Okay. The hit and run. Okay. All right. So I think 39 is going to be it here. 39 people. So thank you to you 39 people for watching and commenting. I'm going to do the draw. Let's see how this goes down. Is everyone's?
Because you commented.
Why did it land on me for a second?
Stanley! Nice.
Wow, Stanley.
Nice.
Stanley's
right,
always
so Stanley.
He's a regular viewer of my show.
He's a regular viewer, but he pops into my show every once.
Yeah, I know. But I think he hit and run on you. I'm going to tell him off next Sunday on my show.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna give him a minute or so. All right. We're gonna give him
a
minute.
little bit of time. Hopefully, he's still here.
If he says something in the next minute,
yeah,
we'll give it to him. But
come on, Stanley.
If not, we're gonna draw again.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Oh,
I said clearly at the top of the show and in the text in the bottom that if you're not here to live,
there he is.
There he is.
Hey, congrats, Stanley.
Congrats,
well,
Stanley.
I'm glad you won, Stanley, and thanks for being here. So, Stanley, I don't know if you're on Instagram, but if you are, you can direct message me at Comic Books NYC there, and I can sort out your shipping and getting this sketch cover with 3 sketches on it: Mike Grell, Green Arrow, Javier Avila, Supergirl, and Mike Cho, Superman, plus 5 other signatures on there. So send me a DM there, or send me an email at comicbooksnyc@gmail.com if email is your preferred route to contact me, and I will get this mailed out to you. I'll probably throw in some comics and some other stuff as well. But thanks everybody else for hanging out. I know a lot of you probably were bummed to not win the giveaway, but I do appreciate you hanging out and being part of the show. This open format that I've done.
I didn't win.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry. And I don't know if I actually mentioned this at the top of the show, but we've been streaming live on Twitch this whole time as well. So this is the first time I put original comic art content live on the Twitch platform, of which I want to guess nobody ever has. So not only is this the latest video on my YouTube channel, but over on Twitch, Comic Books NYC on Twitch, I'm going to be doing all my live content over there as well as maybe some gaming content as well, because I actually have a gaming setup finally that can stream. So I'm curious about getting into that, having a little fun with that. Might do some giveaways while I play some games, stuff like that, some comic book related games. I still haven't played the Guardians of the Galaxy game, and I want to play that. And a few other comic book games that I haven't played yet.
That's a fun one, man.
I hear it looks amazing. I want to play it. So yeah, I might do some of that stuff, but of course there will be original comic art content as well coming down the pike on the channel here and there as I do. But anything you guys want to promote, pitch, talk about before we? You should Knights is back. There's Knights. Sorry, I didn't see you join back in, but
you should get an emulator and you should stream some of like the old school.
Like 16-bit games.
Yeah, like because on Super Nintendo and Sega, like I have so many. Like all the Spidey games and stuff, that would be like cool.
Nice. I have a Retron 5, so I can physically play some cartridges if I want, but to find all those games, it's not cheap anymore. I feel like the old games, it's no longer cheap. So yeah. So it might have to experiment with emulation a little bit, but nobody does original art hangout content these days. I realize that is sarcasm, and I really appreciate your engaging comments in the chat, Marcus, as always, and everybody else that hung out all night, especially these guys that hung out with me, waiting in the background half the time. So Ruben, what do you got going on? You got shows coming up, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, another comic art hangout, same title as yours. Now that I've rebranded the one-on-one series.
I never have it on an exact day and time ever.
No, so, I know.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
It's every Sunday night just, a bunch of comic art collectors hang out, shoot the breeze. I usually have one guest in studio, and then we interact a lot, or at least I interact a lot with the guys in the live chat to make them feel a part of it. So it's like a whole big group hangout kind of thing. And it's youtube.com/Ruben the Collector. The thing is it's weird, right, Kavi? So maybe or JP or anybody else who has a YouTube channel. So you know how when you have a YouTube channel, it splits your YouTube into like your browsing channel plus your browsing membership plus the channel membership. You know what I'm talking about? It's like it's split up.
I think.
Yeah.
Okay. So you see my avatar right now. It's a Scarlet Witch avatar, right? And if you go and you see my channel and it's showing you the Scarlet Witch avatar, like I had JP when he was on your show last time, you shouted me out. JP went and he subscribed to the channel, right? Mm-hmm. But the one with that avatar, there's no videos on it. So it's the split part of the channel that you turn into a actual YouTube channel, and that I have a different avatar for that. That's where all my videos are.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm entirely computing that.
I don't know. Knights was he seemed to be understanding what I'm saying.
I thought I knew what you were talking about, but I don't think that's the case with my channel.
I was gonna say I've never noticed that with mine.
Yeah, I just have one thing that I have my personal KVH account where it's like if I'm watching from my phone, I'm on that one usually, not
okay
on my C or whatever.
Because
those are two different accounts.
I can always like click on my the avatar.
Is it because you just have two different accounts with the same name on there, and you may have been logged in under your non-YouTube channel one?
Well, yeah. Well, it's one. I guess it's one account. I mean, it's they both have the same name. It's Ruben the Collector, right? Like if I click on the avatar, the drop down menu shows, and it says switch. I think switch accounts or something like that. I click it, and then it switches back and forth between the two.
Huh. And those are both called Ruben the Collector. I think that's the issue.
I didn't change the name. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the issue. Just change the name of the other one, and you should no longer have that issue. Just only have the account that's linked to the channel be named Ruben the Collector. And I think moving forward there will be no confusion or Google missearch. Because JP can't click on your name in a chat and get directly to your channel. YouTube stopped allowing that a few years back.
Actually, you can do that again. Or
you can do that again?
Oh, well, yeah.
Then it matters. Then it definitely matters what account you're logged in with while you're commenting. You know what I mean?
Right,
maybe you were logged in the other one possibly. So
yeah, and this is the funny thing. So while I'm here with you guys through StreamYard, right? And I got another tab open. And of course, I've been commenting in the chat for this show, but I forgot to comment by first switching over. So here, I'm going to do it right now. I'm clicking my avatar, and it says switch account. So I'm clicking that. I click on the other name, right? So the first name says Ruben the Collector, 2 subscribers, one of them being JP. Then and then it says other accounts.
Ruben the Collector. I never saw your videos.
So now watch. Change the name of that account that has 2 subscribers to be something slightly different so that there's no Google confusion when somebody's just typing in Ruben the Collector in YouTube and trying to find you that way.
Ruben, that's your fans only account. That's what it is. Man.
Yeah, exactly.
Say again?
That's your private account. That's your
Okay, you see? I just typed a message. You see how now it's not the Scarlet Witch anymore?
Yeah, because it's 2 different accounts. One is
2 different accounts,
and then your other one says like Ruben the Collector 8852. That's
that just happened recently. That just happened recently. That changed with the 8852.
This one's your other one, right? This is your non-YouTube channel account, right? Or is this the one with your account?
So yeah, this one that's a copy of an Alex Raymond drawing. This one is the one with the all my videos, all my content.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
the appropriate one.
I think you need to just clearly separate these two accounts, both visually and in name, so that there's no confusion.
FYI, though, Kavi, remember you were the one who opened the YouTube account for me. So this happened while
Yeah, but it was called.
Harry's fault.
Yeah, but it was called Ruben the Collector's Comic Book Art Gallery.
Yeah, right.
You changed it to be the same, so you caused that confusion, not us.
Okay.
No, you did it.
You did it. It was you. All right, what you got to show us, Knights?
All right, this is a cool cell. It's the first time I ever got one of these so-called pan cells, which are like the cell itself is like ultra large. So again, another like framing nightmare. But this is Dio from the JoJo animation, which is pretty cool. I don't know if you've ever seen that. But yeah, massive.
Yeah, man. I think you have the biggest cells like I've ever seen.
And then
I'm used to the X-Men, the animated series size cell. It's like this big, It's like this big.
And then I got this one is a recent one I got. Another one is Jiro Kuwata's. But this one's a really cool like double page spread kind of thing.
Manga?
Yeah.
looks like Robin on the motorcycle.
About 19
Dude, that's cool.
60s, early 60s.
Yeah, that's really neat.
All right, that's it for me.
Cool.
We got to do like a manga specific episode. I didn't know you had that much. That's really cool, man.
Hey, Kavi, I have like two more things I can show.
Yeah, sure, man. I mean, like I said, there's no time limit on this show. I know it's kind of getting slower.
I know people have stuff to do, and I didn't want to.
Yeah, but
I know Barbarian Kung Fu is in here.
Sorry,
this is actually.
I got this is all real time. I'm a little rusty.
This is actually pretty old, but I've just never shared it before. Barbarian Kung Fu during COVID put me on to John Beatty was doing live streams on his YouTube channel, and he was basically taking commissions like through his YouTube channel. So you'd send in a message or an email like asking for like a specific character, and then he would pick characters he liked, and if he picked the character that you requested, then you had the opportunity to pay for like that quick little commission.
Yeah.
Barbarian Kung Fu put me onto it, and I was able to send in one, and so I got like a little Mr. Miracle
cool.
from BD.
Awesome.
So this is like a couple years old, but I just I never really showed it off before, and so I thought now would be a cool time.
Very graphic approach to that one. That's John Beatty did that one.
Yeah.
So clean.
Yeah.
Really
the videos are still up on his channel. You can see them. They're from a couple years ago. He hasn't been super active since. And he did like 9, 10, 11 videos, and each one's like a couple hours long. And
I did notice he was like really ramping up his live content back in the beginning of the pandemic, but I don't.
Yeah, well, now he's switched over and he's doing more stuff on like IG and trying to sell stuff on there. But yeah, exactly. They were like super affordable. Nice. It was really cool. He was just chit chatting the whole time, and it was awesome. It was cool to be able to get that.
I noticed too that it's almost becoming a trend. Like, is it becoming a trend with all these artists? That are there a bunch of artists that are now deciding, hey, I'm gonna do.
There's a lot
smaller, tiny little drawings rather than standard 8x12 or whatever.
Well, if it comes down to like maximizing monetary ability,
oh for sure.
Sometimes it's easier to find 10 guys that want to spend $50 than it is to spend one guy who wants to spend 500. So.
Yeah.
Also got this recently. It's just like a quick Batman sketch by Riley
nice.
Rosimo.
Really nice. Cool. I wish it was bigger, but it's so cool.
Yeah, that's what she said. Story of my life, guys.
Geek's got one of those BDs as well. He got a Carnage thing.
And then you can kind of see it here on your art show.
And Garel, cool.
On your art show, I showed off the orange painting right here. That's by
the Newligan.
Newligan that I'm really into. And he had made these like 5 or 6 years ago for like an art show he did. And I was just able this past year to track down the person who owned the accompanying one, which is also another one of his original characters. And I was able to secure that. So it's kind of cool. Like the set of the two.
Pair. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. Sorry.
So Yeah,
I'm hitting wrong buttons all over. This is what happens when I do a show that lasts more than an hour, guys.
There you go.
Like, all right.
Well, Kavi, I'm gonna have to take off, but
dude, great hanging. Thanks
Yeah,
so much for hanging out.
awesome art, everybody. You guys showed some great stuff tonight. So.
Good to see you, JP.
Yeah, JP. Bye bye.
Me too. Thank you so much for having me.
I think I'm wrapping things up here in general. Okay. We did the giveaway. Everybody got through sharing their artwork. I'm looking forward to doing this format another time. Maybe in a month or two. That'll be fun. And maybe we can get some of the other guys, because this originally was going to be on a Thursday night, and I had to move it to a Monday night because of my own schedule going on. So we did have some people that wanted to come on that the night change affected that.
I wish I could get like this many guys that easily and do more roundtable shows. It's like,
well, I only do this every once in a while.
No, I know.
It's the group chat that happens in between that I think makes it easier, I guess. Yeah. But and then it was awesome to have both Ruben and Jeff guests of the show Tony and I did, the original Art Hour Beyond show, which is like a side show that we did for a while. That you guys were on that, so I'm extending the invite to anybody who's been on that too. So I don't know who the next guest proper for the whole hour is dedicated to their collection. If anybody has any suggestions, I'm looking for primarily people with channels. I'm not going to limit it to just comic book collectors, but if people have channels, that would be cool. But I've got, at this point, the group chat is 32 people, and it's a lot. It's a lot of people already. So, we'll see about adding more people, but that's already quite a large group of people. So,
hey, Kavi, can I ask your guests something?
Yeah.
And I asked this just because, as you know, like your audience for the original art stuff tends to be guys who are on the, as I call it, the comic book side, guys who still collect.
Yeah, double collectors.
Comics and then got into art, right?
In Knight's case, like he collects like 8 different categories.
So, right.
Yeah.
But my audience is typically skewing a little older, mostly made up of guys who
just OA guys,
just OA and don't really do comics anymore, right? So I'm just curious to ask all you guys, other than Jeff, of course, he's my guy, but I'm curious.
I would argue he's my guy, but we can have that argument offline.
We'll fight.
It's nice to be fought over for a change.
We'll fight for it. But the question is just simply that, like, if you were to do this, like if Kavi had asked, hey, we're going to do this, but it had, let's say, nothing to do with showing art. Like, we're just going to come on and let's just shoot the shit about the hobby, whatever you want to talk about. But, just chill. Nobody is going to be talking about art. Be honest. Like, would you be interested in doing it that way? Or is it like you just like to show, you prefer to show art, like show and tell?
I prefer it when there's at least some topics that you have like an outline.
Not a completely open sandbox, right? Like there's some guidance to the discussion material.
I get you.
That makes sense.
If we weren't going to show any art, but you said beforehand, like, hey, I want to talk about like these 3 artists or these 3 things or
like a basic general outline of topics, right?
Yeah, like then I mean that's fine. Like that would be cool. I think most people would enjoy that as long as there's some kind of like focus. It's just that I think like being able to do a little bit of show and tell is what like keeps the wheels moving. Bring up an artist or bring up some work, or then like transition into talking about other people and piggyback off of each other. Without that, it might become just like a really jumbled, mess.
It'd be a show about nothing.
I
don't know.
We've been
Seinfeld made that work.
We've been through it.
There's an idea,
I literally was on a show about nothing on Ruben's channel with Jeff and one other collector, Iranga, whom I think Chris, and a couple of you guys know. That was a fun episode, but it always circled back and turned into something at some point. Like Blue Line.
I have a Iranga piece over here.
Yeah, there you go. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Cool. Awesome Ghost Rider. Yeah.
That's cool. And what about you, Andy? Out of curious.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. Like just having the art just kind of like sparks discussion. But I mean, I think maybe it also depends on the how many panelists you have or whatever.
Yeah.
Like in a smaller sort of controlled, like I could see that open kind of forum working, but if you got like 8 people, you know, you kind of certain people are going to kind of control the flow or whatever. But I mean, I think that would work maybe with a smaller group. You know?
Yeah, that's why, like, on my channel, one of the shows I do is called Comic Art Roundtable, and I get three guys plus myself, right? So it's only 4, and it's easier to look at 4 guys on a screen, right? And easier to sort of talk amongst each other because there's not too many people, and yeah, so that's it.
I mean, I gotta highlight the I'll sit around and tell lies with the best of them, and I don't want to just talk about boobies. I want to see them.
Nice.
I get you. Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. Anyways, I'm just curious, you know.
I have to say, Ruben, I've enjoyed your channel a lot on Sunday.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate
it. If you ever want to talk to someone with manga stuff, just hit me up.
All right.
Nice.
All right. Sorry, Andy, would you say?
I said it gives me some content at work. I'm always working on Sunday night, so it gives me something to watch.
Oh, are you? Really? Yeah. Oh, wow.
Watch the replay. It's a long replay, but it's worth it. I was on the show twice already.
Yeah.
I caught
last week.
Check out my 3-hour hangout about nothing.
And another thing is, like, sometimes you don't like, because I was on the, well, we might be coming back, but the Golden Guys show about Golden Age comics, and
I love that show in its heyday. And
we might be coming back because DS, you know, had a kid, so we had.
I know, and I actually got to hang out with DS for the first time.
Oh,
meet him down at Baltimore. That was
awesome.
Fun. Yeah.
But sometimes, you know, you don't pick up anything, so you feel like, is this even going to work if, you know, you don't have something art to show or comics?
You mean like for your own channel's content, because you have a channel, right?
Well, but I mean like a group thing. Like sometimes if you're used to showing stuff and then all of a sudden you don't have anything, you might feel like I'm not going to show up because I don't have anything. But if it's like all nothing,
well,
there's a topic
that could be stressful too. I remember like when the hunt was going like really strong for a while. I remember that there was a few guys that were kind of getting burnt out because they just like felt this constant need to like keep up and like grab.
I was one of them, and that's why I retired. That's why I retired from that show.
Yeah, you're like chasing these books, and it's just like, I don't know. I think if you do that too much, it definitely takes some of the fun out of the process.
Well, that's why I do an episode like once a quarter, you know, and I do this group episode like once a year. You know, I'm not gonna overload on it. Not that you have to come on and show art. I even said specifically, if you don't have art to show or you don't want to show art, just come on and hang out this time or whatever. I think in the past, when I did the group episodes, I'm always like, well, if you have 5 pieces to bring 5 pieces, and maybe that's a little bit restrictive because not everybody's going to have 5 new pieces, or even maybe they have 5 pieces and they just, you know, they don't feel like sharing or whatever the reasoning may be. But I think that's a good question from Ruben, but it's also just a it's a good aside to the fact that different types of content should exist within the same
for sure
within the same hobby ecosystem, type of collecting, whatever it may be. You go into video games on YouTube, you go into car collecting on YouTube, whatever. There's thousands of channels doing this stuff. Comic books, I think has now gotten to the sort of the thousands of channels. Comic art's in like the less than 10. You know what I mean? So if you have the availability to go on somebody else's channel, I would say do so if you can, and if you have the ability to make content yourself, I would encourage you to do so even more so if you can. But hey, that's not going to be for everybody. Even for me, I go through these droughts of like months without content, you know? So I'm not going to pretend like I'm some serious YouTuber. I'm a casual YouTuber.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. But yeah, thanks, fellas. I really do appreciate it. This is probably the longest show on the history of Original Art Hour, 2 hours and 25 minutes or so. But
that's an average episode for me, Kavi.
That's like a short episode on Ruben's channel. Be prepared. Bring a catheter. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So I didn't really know who was 100% going to join or not join, but I'll try to add everybody's links and stuff after the fact who appeared in the description. So, you know, as much as I can add there, at least the YouTube channels and the Instagrams for everybody. that has those. Yeah, thanks, fellas. I really appreciate it. I had a fun night hanging out with you guys and talking about.
Likewise, yeah.
Thank you.
Good time, fellas.
Good seeing you guys.
All right, stick around for the outro. If any of you guys want to stick around for another 15 minutes backstage, I'll probably stick around 15 more minutes or so, but you, no pressure. You don't have to. If you got to bounce, you got to bounce. Yeah, have a good night, everybody. Peace.
Good night, guys. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Where do I begin? I see the hate, they don't want to see me win. Bank deposits, I got more coming in. Top down, throw the money in the wind. I don't want it all. Heard he scammer, had to switch up the accounts. Moving paper, gotta call it my account. It's all in, I can have it coming out. They through the struggle, I can see another drought. Yeah, it's not a purse, it's a merch. 6 figures was a gold, now it's 9 or a hearse. Put it work. Used to pull up, not swerve. No time for the snakes, time to put them in the dirt. That's word. I gotta get it, it's in my DNA. You only see the highlights, don't know what it takes. Last year stressing, got no sleep. Now I'm right between the courts, I don't know bleed. I see the hate, they don't wanna see me win. Bank deposits, I got more coming in. Top down, throw the money in the wind. I don't want it all. Heard he scammer, had to switch up the accounts. Moving paper, gotta call it my account.
Right.
That, like I said it before, I say it again.